petty all the time. I'm petty all the time.
Baby, welcome to the party.
Give me a P. Give me a E. Give me a T. T-Y. I'm petty all the time. Give me a P. Give me a E. Give me a T. T-Y. I'm petty all the time.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Paulette coming out the set. What's good? Your favorite ladies are back with another episode, and we finna turn up today. Okay, what's up, y'all?
Hey y'all, it's your girl Crystal, aka Champagne Chris, aka Chrissy F. Baby, please say the baby.
Hi guys, it is your girl Jori.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Michelle, aka Egypt if you nasty.
Hey everyone, it's Just Nick checking in, and like Paulette said, welcome to another episode with your favorite ladies from Petty Party Podcast.
What up, y'all? What up?
We were just talking about how like it just hit September. The weather has completely switched.
It's still hot outside.
I don't think it's hot.
I don't know what switch y'all are talking about, but it's
there's
still
definitely
hot.
a breeze
It's
outside.
in the 80s. Are y'all crazy?
It's still hot.
It's
Y'all
not
did-
hot
y'all
like
did
it was in
delusional.
July.
Y'all, I'm not
Or
going.
August.
If you're over the 70 degrees, it's hot. Like if I'm sweating outside, it's
I remember
hot.
driving in my car, my AC was on, and I was sweating. I was just like, no, it's hot outside.
So let me ask y'all. Okay, well, are y'all still like in summer mode? Are y'all still like?
I'm summer mode all year.
Summer's
I feel like I get
outside.
activated in September because it's
Really?
Virgo. It's
It's your
Virgo month,
birthday.
so
It's
you know
Virgo.
it always hits a little different for me.
When the sun is out, it's out, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hot regardless.
Outside
When the sun
Absolutely.
is out, it's.
It's when it starts getting
gruesome.
real cold outside. It's when, you know, it gets a little nippy,
But-
testy.
I like the cold though.
Do y'all feel like this summer? I don't know. I feel like I summered like I never summered before.
Yeah. And I was in my own city.
Yes.
Crazy
like,
enough.
I
don't think I did enough.
Really?
No, like
Oh.
okay, so at the beginning of the summer, like I was like activated. I was
I feel
really
you.
into it, and then I feel like these last 6
Burnt
weeks,
out.
I fell off. And
really?
I was thinking about that.
I don't know. I just.
Because August, I feel like in August, I was like, yeah, I need to look you.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not gonna lie. Every like weekend, Friday through Sunday, it was a. Like,
Summer
I
went by
was
quick though.
outside.
It went by
It did
quick.
go
I
by
feel like the
quick.
last month though, I've been sat down, so I feel like kind of like you. I feel like I didn't do enough, but it's been a good summer though.
Nah, literally.
I still got more in me, so let's go.
What was that?
It's not
Last
over.
week was what? The first week of September? That's the first time I've been out all year in Dallas.
No,
with you.
Crystal
I
was
like-
outside. I just started.
I was like, Crystal's
so happy.
No,
I was like, dang.
I've been inside
How
all
long you
year.
been?
I know. I've been inside all year.
I feel like that's why we went so hard because I was like, Crystal's out.
It
Okay,
was
bet.
so much
Yeah.
fun. Like it was like so much fun for no reason. Like we had a good time,
Let's
and
talk
we
about
ran into a listener named Remember?
I don't want to say her name wrong,
Yeah,
but you know
remember
who you
us at
are.
Felix.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Shout out
girl.
to you, girl.
Thank you for the picture. We love it. But yeah.
Yeah, no.
And anyone else, if you see us outside, hey, stop and say hello. We talk back.
Never too.
I ran into someone at the post office that actually like listened to our podcast, and I was like,
Girl.
It's always
Post
crazy.
office.
It's crazy because like they just kind of be staring, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
No.
and then they tell you, and I'm like, oh hey,
Okay.
but at first I'd be like, who is this? Why are they looking at me like this?
It's so crazy because literally every time I go out, I'll be like, why are they staring like that? They're like,
Girl.
oh, okay, hold on. Let me just, because I'm like, is it a problem? Or it's
Right.
like, you know, you never know. I'm like, why are we getting stares like that? But I'm like, oh shit, I forgot we have a podcast.
No, I
Like,
had went to Trader Joe's with Nikki's younger sister, and like me and her were talking. Like we were having like a deep conversation, low key, out loud, and all of a sudden a girl said, Amaka left from the set. I'm like, we both look, and she was like, I recognize your voice from the podcast. I'm like, wow. is
no,
that
I think
the
it's
Steve?
always like humbling. I'm like,
But
wow.
still, I'm like, was I that? Like, do I sound like a radio person 24/7?
yeah,
But
a
no.
little bit.
Not even that
Your
she was
voice
talking
is
about
just
anything bad, but
recognizable.
No, you
people
know,
be
but
blasting people on TikTok listening to
but we were having, like, a
conversations, so
very,
you
like,
got to be mindful of talking in
high-end
public. You can't say no names because all of a sudden you be like, Brittany from Dallas, they was talking
Girl.
about you, girl. No,
That's
you can't say no name. You got to be quiet
yeah, I
when you
said
got there
it.
talking.
What's up?
But I'm a firm believer in nicknames. So like
Oh,
even
yeah.
when we're out in public having a conversation, especially if it's like T,
somebody gets a
like
nickname.
Remember
no,
T-Dubs?
it's always a
T-Dub. I still use
T-Dub.
that.
Yeah.
I still use
Yeah,
that.
that's a throwback.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the moto. This one's
Okay.
a little long, but I think it's gonna be good. All right. Hi, ladies. I love your podcast. Hopefully, you can give me some advice. Oh, the title is My Mother May Hear Wedding Bells from a Distance. All right, let's start off with the fact that I'm newly engaged 21-year-old who is preparing to go to law school next year.
Damn.
I'm stressed enough. Growing up, my mother and I have never had the closest relationship. It wasn't a bad one, but it wasn't the closest. But I never knew that she would exhibit biggest op tendencies, especially during the planning of the happiest moments of my life.
Calling you out in the
Quote.
office.
That sounds like your mom.
and then biggest at that.
Y'all,
Biggest op is-
let's be real.
Okay. My parents have been married for 41 years. I look up to them. They show me daily what black love is supposed to look like and have set the standard for my perception of love, family, etc. You would think my mother would be supportive of my engagement and help me with the planning process because she's more equipped than I am, right? Wrong. I've only been engaged for 2 months. Let's go over the petty things she has done thus far. When my now fiance asked my parents for my hand in marriage and asked my mother for her original wedding ring, she refused to give it to him with no explanation. Ladies, that ring has been sitting untouched in that jewelry box for 20 years. My mother had to forcibly take it from the box to give it to my fiance. My only request from my mother was for her to wear her cathedral veil on my wedding day. Please note, I said wear, not have. I've been eyeing it for so long as long as I can remember. Lady, this veil has been once again untouched in preservation for over 4 decades. She told me no without any reasoning or damn near any hesitation. Because I am preparing for law school and graduation, I want to get a head start on some of the wedding planning. My biggest thing, my gowns, of course. I asked my mother if she could travel with me to look at various fabrics and designs. She quickly refused. I asked her if she could provide insight on how she knew she found her perfect dress. She told me she didn't know. LOL. Though I am upset and really hurt, I'm trying to be understanding and knowing that in actuality, I'm not obliged to her items. And because they're hers, she's had a right to say no. But the little girl in me refuses to be mature right now. All I want is to have my mom with me during this moment. My dad has been nothing but supportive and loving. Why can't my mom? Even if she doesn't want to give me her items, support, or even insight would do wonders for me. I want nothing but peace, support, and love around me right now. My mother's not giving me that. Do you think, let's chip in a petty chronicle. Do you think it's petty if I just omit my mother from my wedding altogether?
I mean, is in like not have her?
Yeah. I don't think you should ever do that.
Yeah,
I understand, but it's not that deep.
Yeah, I know.
I think my first question is, why, if your fiance is proposing to you, why is he using your mother's ring? Like, it'd be different if he was using a wedding ring from his family because you're going into his family. But why would he take your mother's?
Yeah.
Right. I understood her no there because it's like, that's not how this works.
There's probably a reason why her mother's ring is locked up in the fact that he asked. So I'm pretty sure they've had some type of conversation for him to even feel comfortable enough to ask for her mother's ring. For all she knows, she told him it's sitting there waiting to be asked for because, again, it should be the other way around. It should be his coming from his family.
That's her ring. I'm not giving you my ring for you to propose to my daughter. That's tacky.
If my daughter wants my ring, she can get it from me. Like, she doesn't need to get it from me.
Yeah, and I will give it to her.
I said it was a wedding band, and it was like, okay, well, you're going to buy the ring, and I can give you the band too. That part confused me as well, because it's like, if I was a mom, I'm saying no too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like he should have something that he's bringing and giving to her.
Because it low key seems like he's kind of getting out of even buying her a ring to propose to her. Because it's like,
and that's why I thought they were engaged already.
Period.
Sorry.
Like, I don't want your grandmama ring.
I don't.
I'm good.
I don't.
Okay.
And that's we can melt it down.
Is he melting
Put
it
in a
down?
necklace or something.
What if he was melting it down to like do his own?
Why would y'all melt down somebody's ring?
I don't want it. You can put on like a necklace and I'll wear it.
Because it's, I don't know, the stone, they could have really good stones.
People melt it down.
Don't get somebody else's ring.
Don't
give it to me.
To melt it down is wild.
crazy.
Yeah, I said put on a necklace and wear it on your, the necklace.
I'm not gonna lie. Even if we ring aside, even you asking her about the wedding dress, how did she know? And she's saying like, she know. I'm not gonna lie. She's acting a little weird. I feel like you might need to lean into your fiance's mother and get that guidance and support they're looking from your mom, from his mom instead, because that's going to be your family for the rest of your life anyways.
That is a slippery
I think that's
slope.
that's we don't do that. We don't go against your mama. Nah.
To now lean into
I don't think she's not going against her mom. She's going to get to the support that she wants. She feels like her mom is not giving it to her.
What I'm saying is, I agree. However, you have to have that conversation with your mother first.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, like, y'all, like, for all we know, something's going on that she's not telling us in that
maybe
motive.
the mother
so I don't know.
Maybe the mom doesn't want her marrying him. And that could also be the case.
Her mom's big ass age, as a mother,
she should tell
you need
her
to have that conversation with your child.
But at
I'm
the
sorry.
same time,
at the same she's a grown ass woman.
At the same time, I
Nope.
agree. But at the same time, like, maybe she's thinking like, okay, I don't want to ruin this for my daughter, so she's not going to say anything.
But you're ruining her experience. She's leaning on you to have an enjoyable engagement as she's going off to law school, and you're making it difficult. I'd rather you just go about it the way you really want to versus you being distant. Because at that point, how you gonna be mad if she leans into the soon-to-be mother-in-law for that guidance?
I mean, I guess to me, I don't see the issue, because if you are, marrying into this person's family and you're gaining a mother-in-law, you have two mothers that are there to help guide you through the situation. Even my brother recently just got married, and I feel like my mom was just as active in speaking with the bride and all the other stuff as much as the bride was as active speaking to my brother. Like, you're joining two families. So I feel like it shouldn't even be a situation where you're isolating the mother-in-law from that situation to begin with. But if your mom is choosing not to be present, I don't think there's a problem with saying, okay, you're choosing not to be present in this moment. Let me lean on now my other mother. That's the blessing of being married, is you now have two moms.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time,
nice until like the moment comes and it's like your mom. You know, I don't know. Just
your mom says what? Why did it?
No,
I asked you these questions.
Your mother is going to feel. Your mother is going to feel isolated at the end of the day.
What.
Like,
but she's
she can isolate herself by tuning in and chipping in advice that I'm asking for.
I don't know. You know how some mothers, they try to live like out their dreams. Like she probably wants her daughter to do it a certain way. It's like, you're not going about the way I went about it. So now it's like, you know, they try to live their dreams through their daughters. And it's just like, bro, let her live her own life. This is exactly what she wants to do. So like, why are you being weird about it? Like,
because it's two sides. Because you have like that where she's being super hands off, and you have some mothers where they're overbearing. You're like, damn, back up, ho. Like, you giving too much opinion.
Ho is crazy.
You know what I mean?
No, ho is crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Ho is
like why go with
anyways,
the
some people, anyway, some people be a little overbearing, but you know, look, you got to tap into.
I don't know. I just feel like in this situation, I really would like for you to sit down and talk to your mom and see what actually is going on. Just
that's what I
for
feel
your sake and your peace of mind.
Don't cut her out.
But like
quickly,
their advice was also great too. Like, you can lean on your mother-in-law as well, but still talk to your mom, because at the end of the day, she is still your mom. You are going to get married, and she's still going to be your mom. You don't want to be a thing where now like you're starting off this new chapter of life, and it feels like you have to pick one or the other. No, like just see what's going on, and just, you know, like at the end of the day, like just try to include your mom as much as she wants. Like at the end of the day, just allow it. Sometimes our moms they be on one sometimes, and you just have to kind of meet them where they at and just like, you know.
And the only reason why I agree with that is because I feel like whenever things happen with weddings, especially whenever it comes to family, those type of like hurts are like deep rooted. Like, no matter how much you try in the future later on to try to fix it, they're gonna remember like a really big event like a wedding. So I don't want to be a thing where she like completely like remembers, like alienates her mother, and then her mother is like, she's gonna remember that. Like, that's her daughter's wedding. She's gonna remember that.
Thanksgiving,
exactly.
Your birth, baby. Every little big moment, she's gonna remind you.
She's gonna remind you.
So
but
just
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You could always uninvite her to the planning of it.
I don't
feel
think
like
she
she has
has
to be
to
uninvited to the wedding.
I don't think she needs to be on the planning about it. I think you can continue doing what you're doing, and she either shows up or not. And like I said, lean onto your mother, soon to be mother-in-law. Like, don't exclude her. If she continues not to show up, then you have no regrets down the line. Like, oh, well, I chose not to invite her. No, you did, and she didn't show up, so that's on her at that point.
Yeah. Because like I know like someone like they were getting married, and like their brothers haven't been really supportive of them, and they were gonna uninvite their brothers entirely. And like a family friend spoke to her and was like, hey, like understand they would like done all this hurt to you, but at the same time, you're gonna regret doing that in the long run. So just at the end of the day, forgive and forget, and just move on, and just allow them to come and support you and do what you gotta do. But uninviting family, like, come on, y'all, like that's crazy.
I mean,
Crystal's like,
no, I do agree, but sometimes some people, like, if you cannot, again, like, just as her mom would remember, that's something that you remember. That's your wedding. Your mom already had her wedding. She had her time. Their parents have been together for 40. How long she
40
said?
years.
40 years.
Exactly.
40 years.
So her mom, you had your moment, and if you can't, and I'm not even talking about her mom, just family in general. Speaking really to that, I don't even know the person personally, but like, some people do deserve to get uninvited, because I feel like if you're causing me so much like anxiety, and then planning a wedding is a serious thing. If you're doing so much around this time, for me, it could be a friend. I don't know about family, but it, like, you just got to get uninvited. I'm sorry, like, bro.
I would never uninvite family ever.
I don't like
no, because at the end of the day, like, that's who you're gonna lean on.
Family's different.
I wouldn't either, but I'm saying I understand why some people may do it, because it's like,
you gotta think about it. Uninviting a cousin is different than uninviting your mother.
But then also you have to look at it like this too. This is a
question.
test too. Like, y'all are gonna come up across so many tests in your marriage. Like, this is a test right here. Like, how are y'all gonna handle problems?
With the husband.
But no, it's not that. It's just, how do you handle problems? Like, are you gonna sit there and be petty, or are you gonna take the high road and, like, at the end of the day, just do what needs to be done to create peace?
I think taking a high road can include uninviting people.
That isn't uninviting your mom to your wedding.
I'm not talking about mom, y'all. I'm not talking about mom.
I'm leaning into
she was speaking
motto
more so
when she's talking.
Your example you gave.
Yeah, but I'm just leading on to the motto, how the girl acts. Like, would she be petty for uninviting her mom?
I think
and honestly, to answer your question, I think that would be very petty.
Did you say uninviting her mom, or uninviting her out of the process?
No, uninviting her mom to her entire wedding.
So the
I think that'll be
omit my mom from the wedding altogether.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Just for the reasons you gave. The reasons you gave she may not be 100% happy for you. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But she could still be there, you know?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Maybe she'll turn around. You know how they have in the fairy tale movies?
Yeah.
It's like the mom turns around at the wedding.
Yeah, and it might not even be for the reasons you think, because a lot of times, have you ever had been in a situation where somebody's acting very standoffish and you personalize and you think, oh, it's because of me.
Right.
And you talk to them, it's something completely different. It's oh no, it has actually had nothing to do with you. So for you, it could be maybe there are certain trauma that she's reliving, and not to tie everything to trauma, but sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's having trouble coming to terms with the fact that you are getting married and you are 20 and you're super young. This is her daughter, her baby, that's leaving her to go somewhere else. So maybe it's in her head, she hasn't quite come to terms with that. So where she's coming off is not wanting to help. Maybe she just hasn't really grasped the reality of the situation. So there's different reasons why she may be acting like that. Not to
I agree with that.
What was the question, Jori? What was the question you had?
Oh, how would y'all feel if y'all were invited to a wedding and you got a text in a group setting, so not just you, multiple people, and that said, hey, unfortunately, we had to make really tough decisions.
We're not friends anymore. Because I shouldn't fall under the tough decision you have to make.
We had to make really tough decisions.
How close were they? How close?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
The person who posted about it was actually her best man. He was in a group chat with 6 other people, and the message said, unfortunately, we've had to make tough decisions, and we have to uninvite you 6 from the wedding.
Us 6? So, we're not friends
including
anymore.
her best man?
The best man, the girl had a best man. The woman who's getting married had a best man, and he texted her
wow,
question
that's
mark,
crazy. So I'm going to throw away to
y'all know what that sounds like?
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, he was in the group chat that got invited.
You know what that sounds like?
But 6 people is crazy. You can't increase your budget
But your
to
best
feed
man,
6 more people.
your best man got laid off?
But you know what? That sounds like the husband, the fiance had a part in that. He probably did not feel comfortable
said, "These 6
with
guys
the
gotta
wife
go."
having a best man.
But to put it in a group chat, that's so
tacky.
Because even hearing best man sounded crazy to me. I was like,
no, I've seen people have best men.
The husband had a problem with you. Had a problem with it all the way to before the wedding.
If my husband has a best woman, you don't need to marry me.
Oh, no,
but that's
not my wedding. Girl,
your bride is beside you.
I've
seen somebody.
So I was recently on the phone with one of my good guy friends, and he's married.
Right.
And a girl was around me, and she was like, "Oh, who's so and so?" And I was like, "Oh, that's one of my good guy friends." And she was like, "Oh, because she knows I'm in the process of dating, whatever." She was like, "Oh, are y'all dating? Tell me about him." She kind of put it like that. I was like, "Oh no," I was like, "He's married." I was like, "That's just my friend." And she was like, "Oh, that's irresponsible of you." She was like,
yikes.
Judgment. Judgment. You shouldn't say he was married, girl.
I'm not gonna lie.
She's about to judge the fuck out of you.
Walk me to that one.
Yeah, literally.
What if I didn't tell her and then she see him down the line and he sees she a married man?
Bro, you
honesty
just know
is the best
sometimes
policy,
you just know
Nikki.
not to.
and I was like, I was so shocked by her saying that, y'all. And she was like, "Yeah, that's irresponsible."
But how
of you.
often do y'all be on the phone?
Yeah.
Just every now and then. And she was
What's now and then?
I mean, maybe
Once a
every 3 weeks.
That's way too often.
So y'all sit and okay.
Okay, wait. Okay. Only reason I
Continue.
say
What'd she say?
maybe
But
that's
she just told me, she was like, "Hey, I don't think that a married man should be good friends with a single woman."
Well, how did you meet
Whoa,
him?
okay,
we used to work together.
Crazy. That's crazy.
okay.
Okay, she's wrong for
Single
saying
woman.
that. Because at the end of the day, okay, y'all, my statement, I know that's where you're coming at with the story. You can have male friends, whatever. What I'm saying is you just have to move in a way where you're respecting your partner. And I don't feel like you being friends with a married man is disrespecting his partner. At the end of the day, y'all have boundaries that y'all have established. So I feel like your friend was a little she was a little rude with saying that. Because low-key, she was trying to say something else with that.
That's what I thought.
You know what I'm saying? And low-key, analyze her.
I feel like as
Put her in
us
another category.
naturally though,
Such a friend.
we have guy friends, right? But the guy friends who told a line where they act shady. So I'm not calling that person my good friend, especially if they're in a relationship and they try to shoot they shot at me. This is genuinely my friend who's married, who has never tried me in that capacity.
Absolutely.
And we can have a guy and girl relationship back and forth. That's okay. If he was trying me, okay. I think people just think men can't have girlfriends. That's really what it comes down to.
And
And
vice
she's putting that
versa.
onto you, saying, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be friends with him. That's irresponsible." It's like, no, I know my friend. I know me.
She had me feeling like a hoe a little
girl,
bit. Because I was just like, damn, can I not be friends with a man?
of you thinking that I am a side piece to somebody for real? That's my friend.
She didn't say all
Calm
that
down.
now.
And
She
I'm
didn't
just
say
saying
that.
that's what she's trying to imply, talking about it's irresponsible. Girl, where are you going? This is my friend. Did I say that we go on dates?
That's
or
like
we
saying
meet
a guy
up?
shouldn't have single guy friends then.
That's what I'm saying.
So if y'all was married, and your husband phone start ringing, and it's let me think of my name. Cynthia. Cynthia's calling him, and he's like, "Oh, that's Cynthia calling." He's leaves and is on the phone for an hour. Y'all would be okay with that?
But okay, let me also say that she did ask me. She was
depends.
she asked me. She's like, "Does his wife know about you?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I mean, I've met his wife before, and I've been introduced. Like, hey, this is Nikki. This is my friend. Whatever."
Yeah, like y'all.
He was like, "Well, do you talk to the wife?" I was like, "No."
So y'all don't have a friendship?
No.
No, y'all, no, real talk. For what? Like, for what? Like, when I see you, let's say hello.
I don't think they have to have a personal.
It's so crazy. This is Michelle is this girl.
No, that's what I'm like. Michelle is judging you
like,
just like that girl.
Because the girl was like, well, any conversation you have with him, you can have in front of his wife.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us put the phone on
But I
speaker.
told her that. I was like, but the wife's not present. Like, it's just me and him having a conversation. And we were talking about Teslas. Like, it wasn't even like a...
I'm not gonna lie.
See, I do. Okay, I will say this though. No,
it's like I
Let's
understand
just
your point,
table
Nikki.
this
But then if I was on the opposite side, I could be side-eyed a little bit.
Really?
No, to be honest,
I don't know why she acting like that.
I'm confused. If it was the other side, only because like for me,
sound good when it ain't you,
Right,
but
but it's like low key sis got a point. Like,
sound good to you in that situation.
Exactly.
no, okay, I wouldn't care.
Even with my friend, like I do have a friend who was a colleague at first. We went to school together, and so like when we do talk, it's more like career based, like because that's literally how we met.
That's
like we met in school, but I don't answer the phone every time he calls simply because I'm just like you. I mean, it's probably every other month. I don't because it's just like
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta slow it. We're not we're friends, but you are now a married man because he just got married. So I'm just like, I'm not. You can't call me like we was friends, and even if it was just strictly friends, it's still just like slow down. You know what I mean? Like we're not.
Move a little bit differently.
Yeah, you have to. You just
conversations have to slow down.
Yeah, so
we're not like my number needs. I can't be under favorites anymore.
Yeah, and what's crazy? It's not even because what you're doing is inappropriate, but optic, especially in marriage, is important.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Look like something it's not. Like,
Which kind of.
But I feel like if his wife had a problem, y'all wouldn't be talking on the phone.
She would have picked up that phone to talk to you.
Yeah. No, Nikki already met her. I feel like if she had a problem with y'all's friendship, then y'all wouldn't be on the phone anymore. I feel like he would respect his wife enough to cease communication.
Men will keep communicating.
No, because I talk to him when he's at home. Like it's not like he's like
so y'all are like just like friends.
Yes.
Okay.
She said from the very beginning.
That's what I'm saying. Like just like. No, y'all, that's y'all doing that. I'm just saying, because the other girl, I'm still on her. Like, I really
why she said it like that?
I feel like she's really
Irresponsible
inappropriate.
wasn't the word.
What did she hear you say to make her ask?
Thank you. Like, Nikki, what did you really say to her?
No, nothing. But okay.
Because
that's judgmental as fuck.
A backstory to her.
Sorry. She is. That was
she got divorced. I hope she didn't listen.
But that was rude to say to someone.
She's been divorced.
So she's projecting. Okay.
But it's fine.
So she just has a different point of view.
Oh, interesting.
We all said if it was on the other foot, we feel differently.
No, but it's not that. It's just interesting.
Okay, y'all. Yeah. Let's reel it in.
Yeah, let's table it.
Yeah, let's table it. Let's move on.
Like table the conversation. Like,
reel it in.
I have so much more to say now that I know though. Like you added context to the situation. It's like, dang, guys, we gotta stop doing that to people projecting. Like y'all know, because like honestly,
the girl said table it and then kept going.
I just my final point on the subject. Like I feel like you can really mess up someone's thought process by projecting. Like sometimes just because you had a different experience doesn't mean that's gonna be that person's experience. Like just chilling, having so much biases when you're talking to people. Like just be straight and direct. Like she didn't have to do that to you, and I'm sorry that she projected towards you. I mean, I know that had you feeling a way, and she's not okay for making you feel that way. So as your best friend talking.
Y'all still friends at work? Y'all still friends at work?
Oh yeah, no, we're cool.
Oh, okay.
Well, y'all don't work together.
We work together.
Oh, y'all work co-workers.
Yeah. She said at work.
Yeah, I thought y'all used
said that at work.
No, we're coworkers.
Her and the guy are coworkers currently.
No,
used to be.
We used to be coworkers.
But the girl that said that to you is your coworker.
Yes, the girl I was talking to is my current coworker. The guy, him and I used to work together.
So how did y'all were talking at work?
Yeah,
about that.
I was at work. He wasn't. He was at home.
Oh, you was okay.
So how did she know to know? Like
because she was on the phone at work.
I was on the phone at work, and she walked up on me, and I had my phone like this, and of course it showed his name across. And
so how did that end after she called you irresponsible?
Her and I had a conversation, and she was just like, okay, well, like I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, I get it, but like I just really don't think that it's I don't understand why you would be friends with a married man.
Oh. Okay. I'll be real with you. It's just none of your business to look at my phone and ask me questions. Like honestly, like it's really none of your business. Like, and listen,
that's why you got a lot of people.
Like, don't lie. Like I think people need to just learn to mind your business.
Yeah, little lies here and there, so when you get to spreading my business, no one knows what's true or not.
That's so crazy. Like
the level of.
That's say your coworker really getting bold like that. Yeah. Zoom meeting.
At least she said it to your face instead of going around telling people you homework.
She probably done that too.
You better than me.
Respectfully.
You know, African ladies.
Oh,
She's African.
I'm Nikki. Are you for real?
You should have just said that from the jump.
That's my brother.
Because she's absolutely judging you.
She was ready to judge you from the beginning.
Come on, Nikki. Like,
Nigga, don't piss me off.
no, don't actually
Sometimes,
piss
Nikki,
me
I feel
off.
like you just. I don't know
Okay,
what's going on.
anyways.
Should have lied.
Yeah.
No, you literally.
Petty
You should have
Chronicle.
led with it. No, Petty Chronicle. But
Move on.
Yeah, let's
Like.
But anyways,
Okay.
so we're gonna go into the Petty Chronicle.
Yay.
Let me know, Paulette. You need to relax. Y'all act like I never have a Petty
We need an
Chronicle.
award. Because, like, wow,
Oh, my
I'm
God.
so happy for you right now.
Anyways, it's not even like. Well, yeah, it is. I don't know. Y'all let me know if I went too far.
Okay.
So, y'all know I travel all the time. I'm actually a frequent flyer with specifically American Airlines. And honestly, I feel like American Airlines, to be honest, is one of the worst airlines to me. Like, I just don't like them as an airline. Like, piss poor. But anyway, so I was on the way. I had an early flight. I had an early flight and I also had like a lot to do when I landed. So like my head needed to be like focus mode. I think the flight was at like anywhere probably like between 6 and 8 a.m. probably. So I have, every time I travel, I have the same carry-on size bag. I don't, put anything more in it. It's the same. So there shouldn't be no issue. Same shit every time. It's sometimes though, when you get on American, they'll tell you to check your bag. And I don't like, cause it's like, that slows me down
annoying.
so much. And I'm like, this is a carry-on bag. There's nothing in it. Made through
No.
security. Why am I checking my bag
Right.
in?
Wait after baggage claim.
Yeah, it's like, why am I doing this? And I'm already like
And they
on
never
time
have
crunch.
overhead bin room.
They do. No, they always do.
No, I know they're doing it on purpose.
So I'm
You have
just
to say
like,
no.
yeah,
bro.
It's medicine.
And even when you say no, it's kind of just like, okay, so this particular morning, as soon as I got to the desk, mind you, they had asked me 2 or 3 times beforehand, and I just was like, I never gave them pushback. I kind of just was like, why am I checking my bag in? Like, I don't
Right.
understand. But this time I was just like, asked them, I said, why am I checking my bag in? A couple of people, they have the same bag, same size bag. Some are a little bigger. Nobody checked their
they're
bag
going
in.
in.
And so I asked him, I was like, what am I checking my bag in for? This man looked at me, Caucasian male, probably had to be at least like no older than 35. He was
mate.
like, he looked at me, he said, if you don't want to check your bag, you can get off. He said,
what?
Straight up.
You know what? Honestly, I believe you.
Straight up. And
I believe you.
I didn't even give pushback. I just asked him, why
Those
am I
people
checking
talk
my
crazy
bag in?
now.
He said, well, if you
I
don't want to
do.
comply, you can just get off. I said, there's no point of getting off. I have somewhere to go. But I'm asking you, why am I checking my bag? That person in front of me did not check their bag in. The person in front of them didn't check their bag in. So I'm just asking, why am I being asked to? He said, ma'am, and then he starts getting louder. He said, ma'am, if you don't want to get on this, he said, I can take you off this flight right now. I can have security
Like
come escort you
physically?
out.
It's never that deep.
In
What's
the
your name?
morning.
What's your name?
In the morning. And
Badge
so I'm just
number.
looking at him. I was just like, bro, like, if you want me to make my bag smaller, because I did have a blanket in it, I can.
Right.
It's still a travel. I could take it out and like he was like, well, then zip it up and like, hurry up. And
Is
I'm
he
like,
really talking to you like that as he's the one holding
so
you up?
I'm literally like I'm boiling inside because I'm like, you just tried to embarrass me in front of all these people. It's early and I don't like shame. Like you're literally trying to embarrass me and I don't fuck with that. So I'm like, I'm starting to get like emotional because I'm like, oh, I'm pissed right now.
You start crying?
So no, not in front of him. So I was just like, bro, like, okay, because I'm like, I actually need to get on this flight. So I'm like, okay, trying to like, make the bag small. I
Right.
took the blanket out, but it still wasn't like, he wanted me to compress the bag.
Oh, like make it smaller.
Yeah, and I just was like,
What's
I
the
can't.
point?
He's okay, well, check it in. He's like, you need to check it in then. And I just was like, just being so extremely rude. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like I was in the twilight zone because I'm like, it's so early. It literally was like, had to be like 7:30 in the morning. And I'm just like, bro, like,
Do you have status as American?
I absolutely do.
What?
I absolutely
Oh,
do.
girl,
I absolutely do.
Crystal. I would have been like, actually,
So-
I'm getting off this plane.
So,
I'm
no,
getting
no,
off this
the
flight.
thing is, I
We're gonna
could
go talk.
not. I couldn't.
We're gonna go talk.
So,
We're gonna talk.
so it pissed me off. So I gave him he ended up taking the bag. He put the tag on or whatever. When I got on the flight, overhead space. And so I'm even more pissed because I'm like, everybody boarded. There's an empty space right here. So I'm just like,
I'm
so I
so
asked the
sorry,
flight
girl.
attendant, I said, why did they ask? I said, can I get my bag? Because I have somewhere to go when I land. Like, she was just like, honestly, I don't even know why you checked it in. She was like, I don't know why. She's like, at this point, we can't get it back. It's too late because it's
Yeah,
already like,
you already passed it off.
And she said, once the tag is printed,
Yeah,
it has to go under.
that's
And I
it.
was just like, okay. And I was just like, you know what? The whole entire flight, typically in early flights, I just sleep. The
Yeah.
whole flight, I was up typing an email because I'm like, you got me fucked up.
Right.
Like, I was like, nah, like, no.
Yeah.
So I literally typed an email to American Airlines, and that email was long as hell. No chat GPT, no nothing. Like, I was just going in like, I just feel like it's just so wrong. Like to sit in and try to embarrass me in front of people in the early morning, and I was like, I fly with you guys every week at least. So to the fact that like you guys have workers here who are not only rude to people but are trying to belittle people, and I was like, I don't know if it's because of the color of my skin or whatever the situation is, but to try to belittle somebody, to me, no. So I wrote this long email, submitted it. Somebody called me and no, they responded first. They had an automated and was just like, oh, we're sorry you had this experience. I responded to that email. I said, I do not want an automated email. I actually want to get on the phone and talk to somebody because this is unacceptable. You cannot have people that work like this, and I had to throw in the like, we help you pay your bills type shit like the guy. Cause I'm like, bro, like, we're funding you. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who are actually patrons of American Airlines are funding the people who are employed there. So I'm like, no. So I sent an email. Somebody called, they sent the email back, and I sent the email back saying, I need somebody to pick up the phone and call me. Somebody called me. I gave her an exact description of what the guy had on, what he would look like, everything. I said, I don't know his name, but and I was like, I just feel like, again, it's just wrong. You should never talk to somebody like that and you're in a customer service role. Like, it does not matter, like, what you do. I don't care how much money you make. Like, I'm here just like everybody else. Like, and if you wanted me to put my bag away, that's absolutely fine because I've done it before. But there's a way that you ask. Don't try to talk to me. And immediately your first response is, you can get off this flight or I can have security come escort you out.
That's like, the approach he took.
No. So yeah, I had somebody call me and she was like, okay, like, in the email I also requested training because I'm like, you cannot, if you have to go, I feel like it's kind of like a police officer. If you have to take it to 0 to 100 really quick and you're dealing with people on an everyday basis, my thing is that you don't need to be in that role.
Right. You don't need to be in customer facing
You just don't need to be, exactly, because I'm like, you deal with hundreds of people every day and your first thought is, I'm going to fucking be rude. Like, no. So I was just like, I think that you guys should incite some sort of customer service training because I don't understand, like, unacceptable.
That's so crazy that American Airlines does that with status. Because normally, like with Delta, if you have status,
I will say
they push you above everybody else and put your bags on. You're not ever checking it in.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was doing that was crazy.
When I said I had status, I will say I just reached like, what is it? They have gold first, and then so I just reached gold. So it was like literally 2 weeks ago before I reached gold. So like I still had a lot of points, but it wasn't like I'm now gold. So
it doesn't matter.
Before it got resolved, I was gold.
He should have talked to you like that. Status or not, I don't think anyone deserves to treat you like that. So you were not petty for sending the email. I honestly commend you for doing that because sometimes I feel like the reason why workers like that are still working in establishments like American Airlines in other places because we don't send in emails and complain.
What did American Airlines? What was their resolution?
So she called me. She apologized. She said,
gave you miles.
Did she give you any credits?
Of course they gave you. I think it was like 10K miles. No, it was like 10K miles. And yeah, she apologized. She just was like, like I just feel like she said if you feel like it was a discrimination, we take that very seriously. So that's when she started asking me about the details of what he had on. Like honestly, like do I feel like much was gonna happen? Probably not. But I'm glad that somebody picked up the phone and called me. And honestly, the lady she sounded a little ethnic. I could be wrong. So I hope that she really understood like where I was coming from because like as a black woman, it's so belittling. Like to have a white man sit and tell you like, I'm going to have security come and escort you out in a professional place like that. And like as if I was doing something wrong.
And it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm on my way to work.
And I have a carry-on bag. So I'm just like, I don't understand. Maybe the last people that get on, yes, take their bags. But like I was grouped like 1 through 4. So I'm like, what is going on here? Like I don't
1 through 4 checking in back.
1 through 4 is crazy to me. So I'm just like, I don't understand. So yeah, like I sent that email. Don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'd do it again. And like again, I really wasn't expecting much to happen. It was really just principle. Like
yeah. Once again, I'm sorry you experienced that. Like I really honestly, I think it's customer service everywhere. Like it has kind of like decreased a little bit. Like people don't even like when you walk into like say if you walk into a coffee shop at 8 in the morning, people are not saying good morning, how are you? People are not saying are friendly. Like it's just like I'm just here for a check. But it's like if you're in customer service, the whole point of customer service is to make your patron or whoever feel good when they're in your establishment or whatever. So for me, that's just standard. But these days, I don't know. I feel like customer service doesn't even matter anymore with companies. Like they do not care. Yeah. As long as someone's employed doing the job, it is what it is.
And I feel like I just let shit like that roll off my shoulders. But I was like, actually have time today. Like you're actually not because like I'm tired of people. I feel like they always get away with it. Like a big corporation will do something crazy and it's kind of just like, what can you do?
Right.
Like, because what can you do? Like I'm not gonna sue them. Like I'm not. You know what I mean? It's just like, what can you do? But like, I just have to let my little voice be heard.
I'm glad you did that. I'm proud of you.
I used to be a hard American Airlines fan because I used to travel a lot for work as well, and I used to always fly them. I had a credit card with them, but I'm not gonna lie, This year lately, they just ain't been doing it for me to the point where any flight I buy now, I buy trip insurance. When I went on a trip earlier in the year, my flight was supposed to be at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I'm knocked out sleeping. My flight was at 9, so I was going to get up at like 7 to get to the airport. While I'm sleeping, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about my flight is canceled. They want me to be at the airport at 5. Who the fuck was going to see that at 3 o'clock in the morning? You know what I mean? And by the time they try to reschedule it because there was an issue in Florida, all this other stuff like that, I couldn't get to my destination until the next day after. So I'm like, I'm missing a whole day out of my trip. Like, I had to fly to North Carolina, stay in North Carolina overnight in a hotel, all this extra bullshit. The line at American to get a hotel was long. And I'm like, thank God I have trip insurance because I can do whatever and submit my receipts and get paid back for it. You know what I mean? But I'm like, getting trip insurance, I was like, I'll never not get it again because the inconveniences that I've been experiencing with just not even American, anybody when it comes to delays in my travel and the expenses that come with missing part of your trip that you already paid for is not it anymore.
But see, I don't do trip insurance through the actual airlines. I do because I already have trip insurance on my credit card. So like it automatically like if you
American Express if you book.
So if you have your American Express, like, and that's where I book all my travel actually through my credit card. So as long as you have that, like, and you do like you send them receipts, they'll pay you back.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I feel like flying has just been really inconvenient.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just such a heinous process. So the last thing that you want is somebody yelling at you, telling you get off the flight.
American's good for like telling you to check in bags and then like
they are.
That would frustrate me though because I've become a carry-on girl. So being forced to check my one and only bag when I probably have stuff in there that is of value would actually piss me off. Like
very much so.
Like I don't want to check it anymore because after my bag got lost in fucking Spain.
I remember that so well.
I don't check bags no more.
Crazy.
So no.
Dang. And even you had that whole delay with St. Martin. Girl, your flight, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I thank God I haven't had issues with flying, but I pray every day, like air tags, all that. But
no, I have air tags, so it's like nothing's ever happened, thank God. But it's also because I'm a carry-on girl. Like, just be moving in and out.
Yeah. So no, you weren't petty
at all,
basically.
No, at all.
But with that being said. Speaking of petty, because I didn't want to know if y'all think this was petty or not, because recently I know y'all have all seen it, Cleotrapa.
When did that change?
It's always been Cleotrapa.
Oh, okay.
She
When
goes
did
by
we get
Cleopatra for short.
Yeah,
it looks like Cleopatra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's Trappa.
So she recently took to social media to be the next of a line of people who exposes Ice Spice for her unfair treatment for how she handled the tour that Ice Spice invited her on. Apparently, Ice Spice invited her on this tour, and I'm assuming that from Cleo's perspective, she thought it was going to be like, okay, I'm going to open the act on this tour, and it comes with like a dressing room, a place to stay, and food. But she was discovering while she's on this trip, like right immediately before, that she doesn't have these things. Like she didn't have a dressing room, she had to change in the bathroom. She didn't even have a place to stay. As she pulls up, Ice Spice telling her like, girl, you're not going to get a room. Like even in the tour bus, like she's sleeping on the bunk bed and all these other things. So she was pretty much just blasting the situation and just blasting Ice Spice as a friend. And do y'all feel like that's petty?
Okay, so I do. I think it's very weird. Like, for example, like you're cool with someone and like just because things don't go right, then you're gonna like take it to a major platform and now start exposing them. I feel like you could have sat down and like had a conversation with her and like express your grievances. Like, hey, girl, like I'm on tour with you. I wish you were doing X, Y, and Z. I didn't think me as a TikToker should have heard her whole story. Like part 1 through 6 was unnecessary for me. So like part 1 through 6 should have been for Ice Spice and her team. So I think she was very petty.
I think
Cleo,
she did tell her that was a part of the story. So she said that she knew early on how she was going to react when she told her about the first initial issue, and Ice Spice, her response was very off. And I think it was regarding the bag situation. That was her first situation where security wouldn't help her with her bags, and I specifically told them don't help her with her bags because you guys are here for me. And she brought that up to her, and Ice was just like, they work for me. They get paid. They don't work for you.
Rate.
Yeah, flat rate. They don't work. She really was on something. They don't work for you, so they're not going to help you. And she said after that, she noted like, okay, I told you about the first issue, and that was your response. Low key, like you're not my friend. Like at this point, so I think it was because she kept bringing, and even after the tour, she sent her this long text message about like, hey, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Here's how I feel about how it went, and some of the things I feel like was unfair. So all
they
the while
did have a conversation.
They did. And immediately after, Ice
Okay.
Spice called her ungrateful. She was like, "You're ungrateful. Like I gave you this opportunity," type shit. So I do feel like yes, it's petty because I still, regardless, don't think that the whole thing was warranted. If that was your friend, but Loki, she was just like, "That's actually not my friend, and I don't give a fuck." So that's really where she was coming from. Yeah, she was just like, "It's not my friend," because like if you were my friend, you would have at least responded or received what I was saying a little bit differently, and you didn't. Like the first thing that you went to was call me ungratefulist, and then careerless. Like,
see, okay.
So I just want to say this. I think that for me, I think that Cleo was a little entitled. And the only reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, Ice Spice is being like honest. Like no one knows you for your music. People know you for your online social media personality. They don't know her for her music. I don't know her for her music.
what does that have to do with
But
me
you
being
shouldn't
on
say
your
that to your
tour,
friend.
though?
That's
So this is
rude.
what I'm saying. So me being
what does
on
that have to do with
your
me being on your tour?
so me being on your tour, why would you automatically think like, hey, every treatment that I get as the main artist, you would be getting? Like
I don't
I think
think she wanted
I think
that,
that she
though.
was. I think that she was thinking like, okay, like you're my friend, so I should automatically be getting everything that you're getting. But it's like, no, like I'm not making money off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, Paul.
Here's what
I don't think that's fair there. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you invited someone on tour with you, like
You
they
should accommodate them.
They
It was a
should be
favor.
accommodated
It
as
was a-
well.
so
Like
it was a
they're not
favor.
just
It
coming.
wasn't- it
It's
was
not
a-
like they're performing for free.
It was
They're paying to come see them
Ice
as well.
Spice
It was a
invited her and
favor.
told her that
Yeah.
she would cover certain expenses for Cleo, and going through that tour, she stopped providing those expenses. So as my friend, yes, that is
What
fucked
expenses
up.
did she start?
At some point, she stopped paying for her hotel. She left her in Mexico to not eat. They left her purposely, and they all went to go eat. It came back. She's like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So
I'll be
everyone
honest
in the
with you.
building acting like they ain't fucking
So I'll
hungry.
be
Why?
honest with
Because
you.
they ate.
I'll be honest with you. It sounds like Cleo.
You sound just like her.
It sounds like Cleo.
Crazy.
It sounds like Cleo was a bill. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What are you talking about?
Nikki,
You asked me to come on tour with you.
Nikki, let's reel it back in.
Yeah,
So
low-key.
she asked
It
her.
was really
no.
back in,
She
right?
said, okay, she did. So let me provide these guys. Because did you watch all the clips?
Yes.
Okay, because she asked her in the very beginning. She gave her one day to prepare for the tour. One day. She gave her in advance. All the while, Ice Spice had been known about the tour. It was a last minute thing. Okay, cool. She said that Cleo has a team. She has a team of people. So she was just like, listen, but since it's last minute, am I able to bring my team? So they did. And I think Ice Spice was just like, if you bring your team, you have to pay for XYZ. She was like, okay, that's fine. However, Cleo said she asked her details in the beginning, like, hey, like, how is this going to work? And Ice Spice said, I got you. So you're going to be with me the whole time. Don't worry about it. So now when we get to a fitting room, you're acting as if you don't want anybody in here, and I'm an opening act as well. When Cleo came back, she said her bag was on the bag or on the floor. Like, so no, I can't even. My stuff can't even be in your fitting room.
They put her purse in the hallway, and somebody stole her
Somebody
card.
stole money out of her purse.
I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like just you in my fitting room. No, Cleo probably wants makeup, probably wants wardrobe, probably wants her whole team in the room, and she wants to share that same fitting room with Ice Spice,
But her whole team wasn't there.
who has the exact same.
Nikki.
I think
y'all, like,
regardless
so
of the whole
what's
situation,
what are we
do I-
arguing
I think
about?
I
I think Cleo
feel
was
like-
entitled.
I don't feel like we needed to hear it, especially because she already addressed it with Ice Spice. But I feel like I believe everything she said because
Right.
now that she blasted it and Ice Spice still came back, saying, "Are you hungry? You're a fucked up person.
Yeah,
like
you are.
as my,
Vacuum.
you're supposed
that
to be
was
my
rude.
friend.
Yeah.
and that's your
Waiter came, she said,
response.
"Where the food go?"
And that's your response.
so,
to
like, y'all, like, we
that's
have to
just
actually
true of
talk
her
about that
character.
today,
Like
because-
that's just.
Y'all are going in on Ice Spice for
I'm not
going
going
back
in on Ice Spice.
for going back and saying something to Cleo, but it's like Cleo's the one who brought that to the internet.
True.
It's not Ice Spice didn't say anything.
Ice Spice just confirmed what Cleo said.
Yeah,
by
no,
saying that.
Okay, but the thing is, so y'all are now saying like, okay, me too. I would be petty too. Like you are now, like as my friend, you've now decided to bring this to the internet to try to embarrass me. So yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna go the fuck in on you.
I don't think
so
it was
if I'm
to embarrass
So
her.
if I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
How was that embarrassing? I think it was just showing
It
who her
was.
character was.
It was just one
It was
of those
just
things.
showing that she was a
It was
fucked
a little
up
bit of
person.
both. It was a little bit of
It was
both.
one of those things
A little
to
bit of
pile
both.
on to Ice Spice, like the Ice Spice hate train. So now, like as my friend,
Ice Spice hate
No,
train.
there
never
definitely is
boosts.
a hate train because
Yeah.
Baby Storm recently came out on Twitter and like blasted and shared a lot of Ice Spice's text messages. Ice Spice and Central C are clearly in a PR marketing relationship type stuff, and people have recently took
Right.
to what's it called, TikTok to blast
Yeah,
Ice Spice and talk
she's
about
the
her and
reason
call,
why, yeah.
call her all these names that they
Yeah,
were
and
calling her
it's just like,
before.
now you're just trying to
and so
jump
now
on
it's
me.
like I feel like sometimes there becomes like a point where it's safe to bash an artist,
Right.
Because if this was the same Ice Spice who she was last year, Cleo might not have felt that comfortable,
Right.
But I guess I will say that I do agree with Nikki a small bit, right? Only because like I feel like it's two things. Either she invited you on there as a friend or she invited you on there as an artist.
Artist,
It
yeah.
can't be both, right? Because
Right.
if you think about
Thank
it,
you.
Nikki is right. Like Cleo, like, I've never heard a single song of hers. I'm not gonna lie. Apparently, she has a song called Rockstar, did it really well. I'd never heard it. That's no shade to her. I just haven't. So for her to say, hey, you know what? I have a huge stage to share with you.
Right.
And Cleo saw that as an opportunity, but it sounds like an opportunity that she wasn't prepared to take.
No, yeah.
So in that moment, I think she relied a lot on Ice Spice to help get her
to bridge those gaps.
To bridge those gaps. And Ice Spice, I think in that moment.
Y'all hear Michelle, but don't hear me.
No,
because
I feel like Ice Spice in that moment was just probably giving tough love. Like, it's not entitled, but Ice Spice probably was thinking in that moment, like, you know, you have to understand, Ice Spice is sharing the stage with her, right? But a lot of people are spending money on Ice Spice. You think Ice Spice is paying all these people? It's not Ice Spice. Like, she has a record company who's like bankrolling all these things. Right. So I think in an aspect, she's trying to teach Cleo, like, you have to kind of at least have some be on your own type shit about it. Like, can some boss about it? But I feel like the real message in this, I feel like, is just you. And it's gonna sound bad, but you really have to be careful who you share your stage with.
And also too, I was gonna say that too, but I think that Ice Spice should have been a little bit more honest. You don't like, okay, I feel you in the moment. It sounds good telling someone, I got you, but if you really don't got someone, you need to be honest about that.
But maybe Ice Spice didn't know.
She does know.
No, she didn't.
You do know if you got someone or not. Because if you got someone, you know what that means.
I'll be honest with you. This is what I'm saying. I don't think Ice Spice knew the extent of how she had to get Cleo.
You know what you say? Hey, I don't know right now. I'll follow up with you.
You know, have you ever been in a situation where like you're like, dang, you know what? Actually, I said yes too quick, and now later on it's biting me in the ass. Yeah. Like, because you're regretting it, because you're like, yeah, in that moment I thought it was like going to be like something kind of simple, but now I'm realizing what actually all it takes to get a friend on a tour.
Right, true. But and I think both of them learned something in the situation, because I feel like I'm not trying to dogpile Ice Spice. That's not my intent in this conversation, but I am saying that is why you don't say yes immediately. You tell someone, I will let you know, let me go look and see what I can do. But not I got you. But as like, you told your friend, I got you. You know what I got you means? I got you.
But as my friend, we could have had that conversation. I'm sorry you left. You went and ate behind my back and made sure nobody told me. I'm sorry, y'all. That is fucked up.
That's weird. I don't know about all that. I mean, that's kind of weird.
Or maybe
and I also feel like add an explanation.
No, I'm gonna add explanation, because maybe what if they want to have a conversation with Ice Spice, like, hey, Ice Spice, I need to actually have a conversation with you about Cleo. So she's like, okay, let's have this conversation. Let's make sure Cleo's not there. Like, I think that,
but the whole team went to a steak dinner, Nikki,
and that's what I'm saying.
Ice Spice, everybody went. Ice Spice left her hairstyles with Cleo. Y'all left two people behind and went and ate and left them not with nothing to eat in Mexico. I'm sorry, y'all. That is fucked up.
Create a diversion.
Y'all act like she left them in the middle of the desert.
It doesn't matter. Y'all
be real. If I did that to one of y'all be fucking pissed.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
But y'all preface this by saying that they're not friends.
No, I'm saying after all this, they're not friends.
This experience proved that they weren't friends, because like Paulette said, if y'all left me somewhere out the country and got food and didn't bring me shit back, I would be pissed. What am I supposed to eat?
Because she said it was in the middle of nowhere.
She has no arms, no hands.
No, but she's
no legs.
I don't know if you've ever driven in that space between Texas and Mexico, but it's actually nothing there. And like she said that it was no service, and she couldn't get Uber.
Okay.
Uber doesn't deliver in the area.
We'll do it to Nikki one day.
No. That's not even that. Because I actually understand. Like, I do feel like
pause it.
I'm not saying in that exact same situation, but I've been in a situation where we've been out the country and there wasn't a place to have food, and y'all went and got food.
People didn't intentionally leave you. Well, okay,
it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same, but I still went and made sure I got food.
That's apples and oranges.
Where was
this is
Spain in Marbella.
Apples and oranges. This is not the same situation.
Well, y'all ended up going to that restaurant. There was no food.
We didn't intentionally leave.
I didn't go to the restaurant either.
I know, but I'm saying we were good, right?
Y'all chose not to go.
I know. I'm not saying
so that's why I said
I was at the airport waiting on my luggage.
No, but that's why I said, hey guys, like, we have to be clear in these conversations, because that's apples to oranges. That's not the same thing. Yeah, we didn't intentionally leave you. She intentionally left Cleopatra not to eat anymore.
Trappa.
So that's different.
Let me just interject here.
Y'all don't even know her name.
Let me interject here. I will say that I do.
Crazy.
Okay.
If someone did that to you, you would expect it. That's crazy.
I will say that I feel like, at the same time, Cleotrapa, I feel like she should have assessed the situation a lot better. I feel like knowing that you only had one day to prepare, although it would have been a great opportunity, if you were not going to be able to come and bring your best self and have a good team behind you, then you probably shouldn't have taken the opportunity. I don't know. And she's an independent artist, so I get it. But at the same time, you have a manager. So you should have had ran that play through your manager, actually run through the whole however many months y'all going to be on tour, and see if it's actually worth it for you, because you need your team behind you. I think in situations when it comes to business like that, and maybe that's the only thing I'll give Cleotrapa pushback for. Like, it is a business. Not everybody is your friend. The fact that you only met Ice Spice to a little bit prior to that really wasn't your friend
really
like that.
She's your colleague.
You know what I'm saying? That's at this point, she's your colleague. You guys were both good for each other's images. So I just feel like
I feel like the friend.
I agree with you with the manager thing.
I just feel like it was a situation. So that's why I feel like she was expecting a little. There's some things that yes, she was expecting, but some things I'm like, yes, you should provide to her, because every person that came on tour and showed up as a special guest, Ice Spice was able to accommodate. They had a room, and it's not you don't need a room every night. They were in the but that's what I'm saying. Like,
and don't invite people that are in your budget.
Exactly.
I mean, but that's what this becomes, right? Was it a situation where it's like, I'm inviting you because I see your talent and I want you to be, it clearly was not that type of invite. It was the invite where it's just like, hey, look, Cleo, hey, if you want, you can come on this tour. I mean, you can low-key this, that,
everything.
And I feel like, because I mean, come on, y'all, let's be honest. We've all got opportunities like that where we know it's an opportunity, and knowing it's an opportunity, you're not gonna make yourself a bill. You're gonna stick a move. You're gonna try and see like, how can I impose the least as possible, because I'm already in position. You know what I mean? But I feel like Cleo might have like saw the opportunity, and in seeing these special acts, she put herself on that level when in actuality, that's not what you were. You were.
So let me ask y'all this. Let's say that you're one of your good friends, like, actually, because like you said, they just met each other. Let's say a recent good friend that you like, you know, when you
they've known each other for a while now. It has to be like 2-3 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's in like a lot of her music videos.
2-3 years. Let's say you've known someone for 2-3 years. She recently starts dating a guy who's bankrolling.
Right.
All right. And she was like, hey, do you want to go on a trip with us? He's gonna cover your flight and your hotel. So when you come on a trip, like, there might be things where, like, let's say y'all go shopping, or let's say whatever, you might go to a spa day. Would you now be expecting for him to cover the shopping trip, the spa trip, the extra?
So I think expensive. Okay, so I feel this example, but I feel like this example doesn't really kind of pertain to the same Ice Spice Cleo thing.
I think it does.
Because only reason I'll say no, because if someone like
you as an artist, are you going on a trip to expend no money?
Right? No, it's not that. It's just like, I don't really know the music business like that and what like going on tour with someone entails. So I can't really speak wholeheartedly on it. But I'm talking about a trip where someone said they bought your flight and all that. I'm not going to then assume that they're going to accommodate all my like excursions and all. I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume.
Yeah,
I'm talking for myself. I'm going to tell you.
So many people feel like, oh, well, you did this and that.
You did this. You asked us
now
a question.
You need to.
Right, but you asked us a question. I don't know the outside. I'm talking about myself. I'm not going to.
But it's not what happened in this situation.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to once again. I believe this is apple and oranges. Once again, I don't know the music, but I don't know what going on tour with someone involves. I don't know that. So I can't say they're right or wrong. What I'm saying is that when someone goes on tour with someone, I feel like there should be at least a room for them to get ready in. That's how I feel. If that wasn't provided, then that has a question. Like,
and even if I have to get ready in the bathroom, why are y'all putting my stuff out in the hallway for my stuff to get stolen? At minimum, y'all could have kept my
things
stuff
were mishandled. I will give it to things were mishandled.
They weren't.
They all learned in the situation what they can do better next time. It's unfortunate that this business relationship has been severed, because honestly, I don't see y'all coming back from this. Too much has happened, but I do think that moving forward, that is why it's important going in business with anyone to have a contract and go over stuff. Understand what you're getting into. You can't go off, I got you, because I got you is not in writing. That's anyone can say I got you, and at the end they can do whatever the fuck they want, because it's not in writing with a dotted line signed. So that's my biggest advice in the situation. They should have had a contract involved.
No, for sure.
Very irresponsible on everybody's part.
Because the thing, and maybe not even so much contract, but because even looking back,
business.
A recent stream had resurfaced with Ice Spice and Cleotrapa on Kaisenat. And it really made me realize, like, Ice Spice has low-key been sharing like her platform with Cleotrapa for a good amount of time now. Like, she was in like 2 music videos of Ice Spice, maybe 1, but I believe 2. She was in a couple of things. A lot of people did say that she was using Cleotrapa to have like a I don't know, to fight colorism allegations or whatever.
Or black image.
You know, kind of. But at the same time, it's like she didn't really have to do any of those things. So to me, I'm thinking for her to do all that and then to extend an invite on her tour, things went sour. But I think that Cleotrapa kind of bit herself in the ass with this whole situation.
Absolutely.
Because
definitely. I can agree with you
You
there.
definitely burned out future opportunities because
But a lot of
a better way she could have handled it.
Because regardless, an opportunity is an opportunity. It may not have went the way you wanted it to, but you really could have finessed it into something bigger.
She really could have.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And the fact that you did what you did with it is going to make a lot of people look at you like, if things don't go your way, they're going to be blasting it.
Right.
Because
I agree there.
Artist did come out and say, like, no celebrity or nobody who's in the entertainment business is speaking on this, because if you want something bad enough, you have to make sacrifices.
Like, he
pretty much called her ungrateful, and I'm like,
because there's a lot of people, for example, that like are big now. They experience that, but we don't know it because this is what comes with it. So I agree with you there. Like, she has messed up her opportunity of like getting a chance through an Ice Spice avenue. Now she has to figure out how she's gonna break into the industry, because to me, New York people are very like close knit, so I don't know how that's gonna work for her, but I do think
it's gonna work out for her. I
don't know, Crystal. I'll be real with you. I don't know,
because there's already
I don't want to lie.
Doechii who asked her to come, or is it Azalea Banks? Somebody asked her to come.
But Azalea Banks,
these are not big.
But Azalea Banks is blackballed.
Like a blackball asking you to come home.
Overseas love her, girl.
Yeah, thank you.
But it's not
Azalea. No one likes
overseas.
She's
Not a Tina Turner overseas. Let's just be clear.
Oh yeah, no.
Tina Turner is an interesting.
Tina Turner left America and blew up overseas.
What I'm saying is, Azalea is bigger than Cleotrapa, so that's going to be an opportunity for Cleotrapa as well.
Azalea and Cleo are probably about on the same level.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I think Azalea is a high, but she's blackballed.
Y'all, Azalea Banks is so blackballed.
That's not a lifeline.
It's not like a.
So you think Cleo's blackballed as well?
As far as like being relevant in today's age, like as far as like social media goes, maybe not music, because I actually don't listen to neither one.
I don't know her music at all. I only know her for her persona on Instagram.
Which one?
Cleo's.
Okay, so Azalea Banks, same thing. Like,
I don't know nothing about
exactly.
Azalea.
That's what I'm saying. So Azalea Banks, like I think that
she's relevant.
Because she actually like that makes good music.
She makes good music. She has a lot of music. Her music. She has a lot of house music. A lot of like, you know.
She's the only one that actually.
She has a fan base though.
Well, yeah, she's
really good. You probably aren't familiar.
I've listened to a few songs.
No, she has good music, and like big artists have come out and said she's good too.
And she has a lot of like white gays. She caters to like the white gays a lot. So it's like, like that. She has.
I agree with Crystal, but what I'll say with Azalea Banks, to me, the reason why she's the only one that actually like keeps it real about what's going on in the industry.
Different strokes are different.
Anybody's crazy. She literally has a fan base.
Yeah, what is that?
I can have a fan base, but you
don't. Not like
Nikki. You can have this life.
Like, what are we doing today?
Yeah, no, low key.
More of the story, different strokes for different folks. Some people like Pepsi, some people like Coke. But what I do want to say is rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan, who recently passed away.
Absolutely.
The rumors are that he received a bad pill, a potential overdose, and honestly, the trap music. Go ahead. Okay, so the trap game, or what do you call it? Trap music game will never be the same.
Rich Homie Gang.
I mean,
he had a gang.
I'm saying trap music gang. Like I want to say the rap gang, but specifically,
the rap gang.
That music, it'll never be the same. Like honestly,
it really won't, because it's so funny because I almost unarchived one of my videos to type away, and I had a video on my Instagram page that was really rapping that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, the fact that like this goes back to college and like he's gone, like Beat King now rich, like that's crazy.
And that's really our entire college career. Right
literally gone. Right. And honestly, like guys, like this is like, we got to talk about this. Like, y'all, we got to leave the drugs alone. Like, it is really killing our youth. And Rich Homie was 34. That is young. He has so much life ahead of him. And it's like, guys, like, we got to be careful where we're like getting these drugs from, and like just drugs in general. Like, nothing's real anymore. As the years progress, times are progressing, people are cutting with things that are not supposed to be cut with. So everyone just needs to be careful and just be mindful. And also, like, just stay prayed up, because honestly, people are passing through a lot of things as well. Like, check in on your strong friend, check in on people that you see are going through things, and like they may not be outright with it, but if you could tell they're going through something, just reach out to them, because honestly, that could have, we just don't know.
Yeah. So R.I.P. We can leave it.
I mean, so how do y'all feel about so recently, like a couple of women have been coming out talking about like the relationship, because. So if we say, so if we remember Rich Homie, like, so his girlfriend actually found him on the couch. So now other women are coming out saying, like, talking about the relationships they had with them. One of the big ones being Erica Banks, which recently like posted like photos, videos of them together.
And text messages
of them. So how y'all feel about that?
Knowing if he was alive, he told you to delete it. That's crazy.
Like, it's just, this is how I feel. If he wasn't out, like, if y'all weren't like an out loud couple, that's what it is. I'm sorry. Like, y'all gonna die in secret. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I think she was out of pocket for that. To me, it's just like, at the end of the day, like, his girlfriend already went through so much finding him like that, and then to like get on the net and see you, oh, but we were together. Girl, y'all were not together. It's okay. Maybe y'all were, but the world didn't see y'all together.
That's so shameless.
Why would you do that? Why would you use someone's death now to like try to make a moment out of it? I just don't get the culture, bro. Like, we be using wrong moments to make a moment. It's weird.
Erica Banks, she's always on the wrong side.
She always finds herself in the wrong time.
She makes people hate her.
Gosh,
it's like she
makes good music, but it's like how she moves, how her team allows her to move is the reason why people don't like her and will never respect her.
She's a goofy, like, so like it overshadows her music. Like it's so unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately, that might be.
And it's like Erica, why of all people, why you?
Yeah,
like keep that in your heart.
What happened with Alex Earl?
Racist tweets came out.
I think a video of her saying the N-word.
Yeah, it was a video of her like rapping. She said the N-word.
Mm-hmm. And it took her weeks to respond to it, and she finally did. But apology was lackluster.
But by the time she responded, though, her team copyrighted the video. So if anybody posted the video, was obligated to pull it down because it was copyright infringement at that point. When I tell you that girl got a team behind her,
and can I be honest with you? Now that I know that, I don't accept her apology. That's
I don't see her anymore on my TikTok no more.
That's weird.
She phased away out of my For You page.
I don't know, like y'all, it's crazy. When I found out what she did, I was like, damn, Alex. Really? This one, because I actually was a fan of her. Yeah, I was a fan of her, but I was just a fan of her, and I was just like, dang, unfortunately, like,
so was it like
here.
Tweets or was it just her saying?
I think she was saying the N-word, and like, even she said
it was tweets.
She was like, I've said things in the past. It's not me, but I'm like, it took you this long to speak on it, like. I don't know, girl.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
sorry, can't.
At one point, I went to an all-white school district. I could count the black people on one hand, and then I transferred and I went to school that was a little bit more diverse. I'm sorry, every white person who I've been around has said the N-word. So to me, it's not shocking ever. It's not to me. They might not say it to my face, but they're saying it. I'm not gonna lie. Just the people I've seen around, the people who associate themselves with black people, it's not shocking to me. It happens time and time again. People come out and oh my God, they've had all these racist tweets. And they said it. I'm not shocked by it.
Right.
Yeah. It just was a matter of it coming to light.
Yeah. No, it's just you only get shocked because it's like wow, like it's like wow, okay. I can't fool with you anymore.
Yeah, to me,
it's like, not. I'm not gonna ever normalize people. I'm not gonna lie. I will never normalize people that are not black saying the N-word. It can never be normal. So it will always be a shocker to me. Like, dang, you said that. Okay, cool. Now I can't fool with you anymore.
But the uproar behind it to me is like these people still go on doing what they're doing every single time. Weird. That's why to me it's kind of like.
And in fact, even her apology, she was like, "I'm not even saying this because I'm losing endorsements because it didn't affect my endorsements at all." I'm like, girl, read the room.
Y'all should pull her endorsements on the count of that. Like, it's like, that's stupidity.
I'm like, pretty much saying, like, it wasn't hitting my pockets, but I'm throwing y'all an apology because y'all been asking for it. Like, jeez.
Well,
nerve.
How'd y'all feel about Cam Newton and is her name Dr. Bryant?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How did y'all feel about that entire interview? I'm not going to lie. It was comical to me.
No, I feel like she ate him up respectfully.
No, so
I think she
classy,
ate him up, like,
demure.
So what was the interview? This was his podcast?
Yeah. He brought her on and like they were talking, they had like a lot of like an entire conversation like involving like relationship. And they got to one part where they were talking about like, you know, Cam Newton said that he has 7 or 8 children and that he said that he still wants more and that he's still looking to get married. And like, I respected what she responded to that. She told him that, because he asked her, right, if she would ever be with someone that had children, and she said no. And like, I felt like he was trying to change her answer every time, but to me, it's like, you know, I have to respect her that she stood in her answer. Like, she didn't allow him to like bait her into saying something else. At the end of the day, she said that she didn't want a man with children, and that's okay. Like, I feel like a lot of people should be comfortable with men and women being comfortable with not wanting someone with kids. But I just feel like also too, let's get into the conversation of like Cam Newton. I don't think he thinks that he's raising broken homes.
Yeah.
I don't think he sees it as that.
What she brought to the forefront because he doesn't see it as like, same thing with Nick Cannon, like you have all these babies and like you keep going and impregnating these women with no intentions of actually marrying them or being intentional. And his response was his fear of getting married and it failing is greater than whatever else he said. Like he's basically that's his biggest fear in life.
And he has a whole girlfriend who lives with him.
You know the crazy part is,
imagine watching a podcast and hearing your boyfriend say he's looking for his wife.
That's not my boyfriend. Who is that?
That's a slap in my face. So just break up with me now.
No,
that's what you mean.
We're broken
you don't fucking want
me. We're
broken at that point because you're still looking for your wife.
About the audacity. I feel like
and that's what I was gonna say, and that's why I'm glad that she said what she said. Like, and obviously, like I know, like you know, on a therapy level, like there's probably some things she should have done, but I don't think it was a matter of like oh, you know, we're gonna have a therapy session. I think she was just telling you, actually, let me tell you how I feel.
Dialogue.
Like, let's honest out like how I feel about it, because I'm not gonna lie, like, you cannot keep having children with women that you know that you have no intentions on being with. You have no intentions of like making a home out of it, because like the person that's it's affecting is the kid. I think that's such a like, you would think that's such an understandable concept. Like, you would be like, oh, you know what, this doesn't make sense, but you purposely do that and be like, oh, I'm breaking homes.
Mm-hmm. But my thing is, so what's his name? What's the guy's name?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton has 8 kids? Mm-hmm. Nick Cannon, I can't count them. Uncountable. But I just feel like if it was anybody else, if this was
women. Let's put women into it.
No, not even women. Men. If this was any other guy, we would call it for what it is. This is a guy who is irresponsible with his dick and is leaving it in and creating broken homes everywhere. For some reason, we allow Nick Cannon and Cam Newton to these Jedi mind tricks and let us believe that what they're doing is intentional. It is not intentional. He's having accidental kids. He doesn't want to take accountability for that. And what he's saying is, oh, this is I'm intensely sleeping with these women. No, the fuck you're not. Yeah, because if you wanted kids that damn bad, you'd have it with the same woman.
Yep. Yeah, like, that's the part that kind of confused me. Is like, you're intentionally creating broken homes. Do you see how crazy that sounds? And not like 8 children don't have a father in their home at all times. Like, don't get me wrong. I can understand 1 or 2, but come on, 8 kids.
I'll be honest with you.
That's so irresponsible.
Even Beyonce couldn't get up there.
She wouldn't.
With 8 children of different fathers and say, hey, I'm still looking for my husband. What did they do to Vivica A. Fox just weeks ago?
Right.
No children. No, nothing. But she's still saying, I'm looking for a husband. And she is the devil.
They ate her up.
They ate her up because she said that.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's like.
Yeah, she said that she's like open to like date. You know, she was married before. She's open. She's been married once.
She's been married. But
she's back to dating again.
But she said she's open to dating, finding her husband. They ate her up like, oh, well, you've been through all these men. You've done this and this and that. So now how can you say you want a husband? So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just call it for what it is. Cam Newton has no reason to be opening his mouth to find anything.
And you're not looking for a wife.
Finding time to spend time with the other 8.
I don't believe you're looking for a wife if you're intentionally getting 8 women pregnant. Like, I think you're just doing what you want to do. And like, because you have a podcast, you feel like you need to say these things. No, I think people with podcasts need to start being honest about some shit. Cam, that was your moment to be honest in what you got going on. You're not trying to get married. You just want to have an empire of children. And that's what it is.
Wasn't he just in the media for the girlfriend he was with talking about she was doing anal?
That's Jazzy. Yeah. She's still with. They're still together. That's crazy. And she posted a video with him like a few days after. I was like, you like Shank? It couldn't be me. I'm not gonna lie.
He's with the right.
I've been on social media for months.
No, he's with the right person.
Listen,
no, he is.
But still, no. Like, as women too, like, no. Tap back in and respect yourself.
She need to stand up.
Tap back in and respect yourself.
Because I feel like the response to everybody loves a marriage doesn't stop a man from leaving you. It doesn't, but it holds him to some sort of accountability, and that's literally what.
Y'all, can we stop saying that too?
Yeah,
Can we stop saying that too? Because like, to me, like, I feel like now in this generation, we view marriage as it's like just boyfriend and girlfriend. That's a sacred union. That's a sacred union. Y'all are going before God and coming together. That is hella deep. Bro. So don't say these things like, oh, it just, a marriage doesn't stop. No, it should though. Mm-hmm. It should stop you from doing that. Yeah. It should. And it's weird that like y'all, oh God. I'm sorry. We're lost.
As much as he needs to be to blame, she needs to be to blame as well.
The girlfriend? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would never lay down and have a baby by a nigga
who
has...
She had a kid with him?
Jess has a baby by him.
Yes, girl, and that baby's like not even 3 months. Is it? It's probably like 4 or 5 months.
So she's the 8th baby mama.
Yeah.
No, not 8th baby mama. I think she's the 3rd baby mama.
But he has 8 kids.
Remember, he was married.
He wasn't married. He never married Kia.
Girl?
He had 4 kids with Kia, cheated on her, got the other girl pregnant, and then he got pregnant with.
So you have a 3rd baby mama.
I thought he was married to her.
I don't need you.
Fear men.
It is what it is.
Have shame.
Glorilla said it best.
Have shame.
Glorilla said it best.
What? That would be on Friday.
She wrote it down on paper and put in a lyric in a verse. Like, we really need to.
Lotto said it too.
Y'all being a 3rd baby mama and giving someone their 8th kid.
wild.
Can you imagine? We're never having any more children. Like, I'm gonna be your first wife.
I promise you, I wouldn't have had children
I am not
by
gonna
you.
be your third baby mom.
If I went into a relationship and you had 7 children,
we're not having any more kids. You don't need any more.
I'm on birth control for
We
life.
need a marriage. We need a marriage first before we start thinking about more kids. Like, let's have a union
I wouldn't even.
first.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I would even.
No. We can have children, but let's talk about a union
I
first.
fuck around me on a podcast. Talk about I'm looking for my husband.
No,
like
facts.
no,
That part.
It's not
Third
true.
baby mama giving him his 8th kid
That's
is
a lot of work.
wild.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That makes you a mom of 8.
I'm not
because
having-
you accept his kids. You're a mom of 8 is crazy,
Mama
and
nine,
I only
because
have
my man's a
one.
child.
At that point,
So,
are they really
Mama
accepting other
nine.
kids?
You
Mama
have to.
nine.
They're
I'm
not.
sorry. If
They're
you
not.
marry somebody with 8 children,
They're
you
not.
better accept them as your own.
They're
Because
not.
why would you sign up for that
Nikki,
circus?
all
What
right.
the
They're
fuck?
not is crazy.
That's
not.
crazy.
They're not is crazy. No, Nikki.
Y'all know how.
Yeah,
Nikki
you know how Nikki feel about kids, children.
How do you feel about kids?
She's been very clear on this
Nikki
podcast.
is very.
Yeah.
Those are your kids, not mine.
Let me know when they're not
And, like,
there, and I'll be
honestly,
there.
no, like, yeah, let's move on. 'Cause, like,
yeah.
Please.
Respectfully, before it gets bad.
Yeah.
I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
Do you guys think that chivalry is dead?
It doesn't exist.
I mean,
Depends
think
on
it's
who you're
dead.
talking
I
about.
I don't think it's dead. I feel like
yeah.
I feel like it's just a lot of, not all men, but in a lot of men, yes, I do feel like it is.
That's a great answer.
I think it's a way for some men to front. I think that it's in all men, and I think that some men try their best to like put that foot forward, but then as soon as you piss them off, it's like chivalry's out the window.
Can I be real? Because I associate chivalry with like being a gentleman. I don't think all men are gentlemen. So
I think it's in all men.
I don't think so.
You know what is crazy?
I don't think
actually
so.
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
Trust
it is.
me.
No.
I think
No.
there's a certain level of home training that is lacking in some men who
Yeah.
don't have.
They're YNs.
I think to be I think to
Be
I
quiet.
think all
Just
men.
saying.
I think all men can have the option to be a gentleman. Now it's up to them to choose, but I think it's in every man.
But I feel
if they
like
don't know
if
what
you
it is,
have
how they
to
know?
choose to be chivalrous, you're not chivalrous. Like literally, like
That's
if you
not
have
an
to,
option. That's you.
it's in you. Yeah, it's not something that's on you. It's in you.
I think I have to disagree because it can go vice versa. Like for you, like
I'm a lady at all times. I don't choose
all
to
times,
be one. Yes,
all times, even when you're on the table saying A.
Hey, I'm a lady. What are you saying right now?
'Cause
I don't
niggas can't do
understand.
that.
I don't understand.
I'm a lady with a trap side.
Yeah,
That could be both.
I'm a lady.
2 things can be true at the same time.
yeah.
That was very. Hold on.
No,
you sound like your coworker now.
Very judgmental.
I say A. I don't have, but I'm not saying. But I'm not saying I'm a lady at all times.
I am a lady
But that's
at all
not
times.
I don't understand why
but you
you're
said
equating
all
that
men
to not being ladylike is what I'm saying.
A
okay.
on the table.
Just having dancing and having a good time is.
Dancing, having a good time is different than being on the table screaming A.
Judgy, because I'm gonna be on the table as a lady saying, "Hey,
Okay,
what's
well,
up?"
like,
what I will say is the reason why I feel like it's not an all man, because have you ever been with a guy? This doesn't have to be a significant other. But
Right.
you've been with a guy and like naturally, right? You go to the door, you just kind of stop there. Maybe on your phone, you wait for the door to open, and y'all both at the door, and you're just like, oh, okay. So
What's
you
go-
didn't get the signal.
Yeah.
They look at you like, what are you waiting for? And it's like, okay, I got it. Don't worry, sweetheart. Don't worry, princess. I got it. You know what I mean? I feel like there are some guys who like
They're
it's-
running to the door to open it for you.
Some guys would.
That's true.
If you
Like,
open
yeah,
the door, they're
they're
like,
like-
"Whoa, disrespectful."
Yeah.
like you're just
Yeah.
being disrespectful. There's some guys who they don't have it in them. They've never opened the door for a girl probably in their life.
Right,
Barras.
right.
Not embarrassing.
No. Yeah, no.
So do y'all feel like chivalry is just like small gestures, like opening somebody's door?
I mean, I feel like chivalry is like just being a gentleman or a lady. Like, just, in situations you're in, knowing when to,
I think
be a nurturer.
I think that chivalry comes in whenever you're doing things that people don't expect you to do. Like you said, like it's kind of like the opening the doors, but like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not expecting everyone to open my doors.
see,
Like
that's
even
where
my
you got it wrong.
coworkers, like let's just say like we're all like in a big group setting where coworkers, like I might not be expecting like one of my male coworkers to do that, but like naturally, why would you be expecting that?
As a man, you should be opening doors for women. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with her or not. That is the gentleman thing to do. That's why I said in the beginning of this conversation, not every man's a gentleman.
Yeah.
Because that is an expectation for me. If I'm walking with men, you better be in front of me opening that door. And if you don't, I'm a really
But I can kind of understand because sometimes it sends a message where
I
it's
don't
like,
care.
Okay,
I
you
can't.
feeling me?
Then I don't care. Like I don't care.
So would you stop?
No, because
So
I
that's
will
why
say something.
so-
Like you don't open door. I will say like, oh, you don't open doors. Like playfully. Like that's not me being playful. That's like, are you okay?
But I'm saying some
Because
guys
what's
may
going
not
on?
do it in a work setting because they may feel like, okay, let's be
We're all
peers in a
equal.
But still,
situation.
at the same time, gentlemen doesn't matter where you're at. You're just a gentleman all the way
I
around.
agree
Like
too.
at the end of the day, y'all, let's
I
not make
agree.
excuses for people that are YNs.
I agree.
Paulette,
So I think
that's what it is
right here.
That's what it is, y'all. Like that's what it is.
So I think we're talking about like a lot of small gestures.
I think small gestures are like a big.
I feel like back in the day, like people thought of chivalry as like the men pay for the dates. They drive, the woman doesn't. I feel like those are more outdated. And I feel like more people now, like outside of the base ones that we just named, like I feel like the perception of people is screwed because people's expectations of what they think they should have in a relationship really doesn't match like their tax bracket, the people that they're dating. Like you have people who, and I'm not even being shady. I'm not being shady, but I feel like people are looking at celebrities or people who are dating somebody who's well into their career, who makes six figures, who are being spoiled by their partner, and somebody who's coming in high school or into college thinking that they're supposed to get that same treatment. You know what I mean? And I feel like I feel like people are confusing chivalry with that because that's the expectation that they want in a relationship.
I think there's levels to being chivalrous.
And the thing, chivalrous and generous are two different things. Like chivalrous is things that come with, it has nothing to do with money.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand.
Chivalrous has to me is nothing to do. If we look up the definition of chivalry, which I don't like, I can ask Siri real quick, but it has nothing. It's not like how much you can give to somebody or how open your pockets are. It's again opening doors. Helping a woman across the street. You see somebody walking on the outside of the curb. You stand on the other side of the curb. Like that's what chivalry is. It has nothing to do with like what you can afford as a man. So I just think that every man innately should have. Go ahead.
It's about money.
No, it's not. The combination of qualities expected of an ideal knight, especially courage, honor, courtesy, justice, and readiness to help the weak.
Exactly. That has nothing to do with money. So I just think that
being a good person.
Innately, most men do have that in them, whether they show it or not. But like some men don't. Like, you know what I mean? It's just I don't think we should.
Everybody?
No. Not everybody does that.
I feel like everyone has the capacity.
That's what I'm saying.
To be chivalrous.
To be it.
Yes,
but they may not show it. But
it may not be innate though. I don't think it's innate though.
I think it's innate.
No, because then everybody would be out here being
opening
chivalrous.
doors. Yeah.
I don't think so. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, so it's one of those things where like, okay, when people are like, whenever it comes to a man who maybe is like cheating, wild, is it a woman that changes the man and makes him want to stop cheating, or does he have to stop cheating whenever he wants to stop cheating?
It's the second one whenever he wants to.
Exactly. So it's always in him. It's always in him to not be a cheater.
Yeah, it's a choice. Cheating is a choice.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that chivalry is the exact same thing. It's always there. But now you choose to either show it or not.
But we are. But if a guy is cheating, I'm not going to say he's not a cheater. It's him. Not cheat. No, you're cheating. Until you stop cheating, you're a cheater.
But you're saying that until you stop. But you're also saying that if we're going based off your philosophy, you're saying that a man that cheats can never not be a cheater.
That's actually not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that you're saying every man is chivalrous. I'm saying there are a lot of men who aren't. I'm not saying they're chivalrous. I think that
they have it in them to be chivalrous.
I mean, of course, but if they don't know to be, because like there are some men who will sit there and be like, "Why do I have to open a door for you?" Like, or why do I have to do this? Or women, y'all want equal pay, but y'all want me to do this, and they have an argument for everything they're against. It. But then there are also some men who truly just were not raised to even be that way. Like to them, it's like their first thought isn't to be like, let me open the door. And it's not because they're a bad person, but it's just like they just weren't. Maybe they weren't raised around a lot of women. Maybe their mom didn't instill. Maybe their dad didn't instill that into them. You know what I mean? It's not a slight to them. They could learn it. Everyone can learn it.
I think it's I think it's something that you can learn. I don't think it's something that everybody has, because if you grew up and you never saw your dad do those types of things to your mom, how would you know to do that as a man? Like, unless you're looking at somebody else around you. Or unless you went
out your way to learn it.
And that's why I feel like we mentioned it on one of the other episodes about like, dating people who have like dated other people before, because I think those are things you also learn in a relationship too. Like, how to date, those little gestures that comes with like dating somebody and courting somebody and like putting your best foot forward. So that's why I prefer people with a little bit of like, not hoe experience, but like, because it's like, how to do those little things like, shouldn't have to.
But it also too, like, depending on the type of people they were dating, they may have never had to experience those little things that you're talking about.
But
that's
what I'm also saying.
They may have dated the same person.
So have y'all ever dated somebody or been in a relationship with somebody who wasn't chivalrous?
Girl, no, because that's a requirement.
That's what we did out.
Actually, yeah.
That's a requirement.
Back in my early days, I'm not gonna lie. Like, back in my early days, yes, I have.
I'll be real with y'all. Like,
it's miserable.
No, like I'll be honest with y'all. Like that's something that's in me. A girl can even ask me like a question like, "Is opening doors important to you?" That's it.
But the thing is, I think
you have to do that.
I think
like
past that, like you can have a man that opens door for you, but like, is a man nice to you? Like, and I think that a lot of these men are not nice.
You can be chivalrous and not nice. Like, you can be chivalrous and not nice.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of men that are gentlemen that are not nice.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I do.
There's a lot of men that are gentlemen that are not nice. I know it's kind of like
I think that naturally.
No,
I think that naturally, if you're a chivalrous man, you would also be a nice person, like a kind person.
You know what's crazy? Oh my God, it's so crazy you said that because I just had an argument with somebody about this, right? Because they told me like, oh, I'm a nice person. I was like, I can tell that you're nice, but I'm not sure yet if you're kind. And he was like, well, nice and kindness are not the same thing. I was like, no, being nice is one thing, but the reason you're nice, some people are nice because they are kind. If you're a kind person, you're naturally nice. Niceness, there's intention behind it. Some people are nice because, okay, I know I have to be nice to this girl because I can fuck. I know I have to be nice to her because that's what she requires. But if you're naturally a kind person, it's going to spill over to the way you treat other people. Right. You know what I mean? So you
think that chivalrous is kind and you don't think it's nice?
No, I think chivalrous is being nice, but some people are raised to be that way. Yeah. Some people that's just how they are. They're just not Southern gentlemen, because we're in the South, so I say that. Some people are just Southern gentlemen, you know what I mean? But they can still cheat on you. They can still do your ass bad. Just because a nigga open a door for you does not mean that's your husband.
He's above
I'm not saying that. Of course, they can't make mistakes. They can't be human. But to like now say that a chivalrous man is completely like a mean person.
I'm not saying
you're working in extremes.
Yeah, you're moving the goalposts.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm thinking like if you're chivalrous,
rewording what I said.
No, but I'm not. But I'm saying like if you're chivalrous, I think that naturally you should have some like good qualities about you. So why would you not
it's a
be
green flag
kind?
for
Why
sure.
would you not be nice?
But
like to now say like you're chivalrous and you're also the extreme of like being a bad person. That's kind of
there are chivalrous people that are bad people.
It's not saying that you're a bad person, but we've said on this podcast before, like, when men are not happy with themselves, they're very mean. So you can be a very chivalrous man, but if you're not happy with where you are in your life, you are going to have very mean interactions with women around you.
So if you're going through the point where you're not happy with yourself, you think you would actually be chivalrous to a woman? Do you think that you would actually like be thinking about, hey, I'm going to hold this door open for a woman that's 10 feet behind me?
See, and this is where we defer because you were saying being chivalrous is a choice. I do feel like some men, they're just naturally that way. They're going to open the door. They're going to...
I said the same thing. I thought it was innate, but you said it wasn't innate.
No. Okay, wait, hold on.
I'm not gonna lie. So can we start? Like, I have a question. How about what does chivalry mean to you?
Yeah,
like, personally?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I think chivalry goes past being like just gestures of like opening doors, walking on the outside of the street. I think it also now goes into the fact of like how you treat strangers, how you treat anybody. So I don't think it's possible to be a chivalrous person without actually being like innately a nice person or a kind person or a caring person. I don't think it's possible.
So I think that
those two things go hand in hand. Like,
I've seen chivalrous people be rude to strangers. But you just said it goes hand in hand. Someone that can be chivalrous can be it doesn't.
But I can be rude to people, but doesn't mean that I'm not a nice person.
But you're
so of course you're gonna have your moments where like you can be rude to people, but innately at the core of you, you're a good person.
I don't know. If you don't treat people well, are you a good person? Just because you're chivalrous? If you don't treat people well, are you a good person? Ask yourself.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think that anyone that's chivalrous would not treat people well.
So Paulette, I think you're mixing my words.
What does chivalry describe a chivalrous man?
A person that is has courtesy. Of course, like considers me in situations. Of course, like I just said previously, holds doors open, does things that are gentleman-like. Like that to me is chivalrous. Like that is like that's what I like in a man. Like I said before, there are some men that do that, but they can also not be a nice person. Like they're not treating people well. Like I think like look at it like this. Separate the two. Like just because someone has this quality doesn't mean that they're automatically this person.
That's what I'm saying. I don't separate the two.
See, but I do.
I don't think
just because someone. But hold on, let me land for. Just because someone is doing these things for me does not mean that for the next person they're doing the same thing.
I mean, but
like I have to be honest there.
Have we ever been out right and you know that guy who's just checking on you, making sure you're good, make sure your friend's good. Like it's just like he's a gentleman, and after your friends are like, oh my gosh, he's so good, and you like, like no, he's not. I know him, and he's nice for tonight. He's cool, but
for the most part, he's not a good person.
And the crazy part is, I would not give him the title of being chivalrous. Like in that moment, that's you're playing.
In that moment,
no, that's the thing. Like in that moment, you're playing the part. but you're not a chivalrous man. That's what I'm saying. Why would you give the title of someone that's actually not that? Like in that moment,
Okay, so
I guess let me ask you: do you feel like a man could be chivalrous to you and not chivalrous to somebody like other women?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So do you only?
I don't think. How can you be a chivalrous person?
So if you're not, then you're not a chivalrous person. If it's you pick and choose who you want to be chivalrous to.
And that's why I'm saying, like, it comes to a man like that cheats. It takes, like, it has to be in him. He has to want to stop cheating for himself. It doesn't take a woman. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, just because you're kind to me, you're chivalrous to me, and you're not chivalrous to somebody, you're not a chivalrous person.
But that doesn't go for all men. I'm just saying there are men out there that do that. But
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm speaking towards.
I would not label that person a chivalrous person. If you can't do from A through Z and do the exact same act, then you're not a chivalrous person. Yeah. To me, hey, I bring that out of you, but that doesn't mean you're a chivalrous person. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I associate it more with acts.
Yeah.
So I guess to me,
acts based on that individual. Like, so you're not saying that act has to go for each and every person that he comes across.
I only go by my own interactions with somebody.
So that's the thing. So for me, if you're chivalrous, that's you
across the board.
That's your life.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways.
It's crazy.
No, because I agree, but I
guess kind of in the same realm then, like, because y'all said I had asked if y'all ever dated somebody who wasn't chivalrous, and y'all were like, no, y'all wouldn't. But have y'all ever dated somebody who didn't like match the same type of romantic level or things that you wanted in a relationship? Yes. And did you stay or did you leave? Did you teach them how you wanted to be loved? Because some people feel like, oh, you should know at your big age. I'm not going to teach you what I need. But I feel like sometimes it's okay to tell people what you want.
There was a conversation and then distance. Because honestly, it was weird for me as a grown man. Like, wow, like the fact I'm even having to point this out is crazy.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like,
now I have to give you some space.
Space.
I have to.
Leaving.
No, I gave some space and like you know what I'm saying?
I'm out of there.
You have to buy back in.
I just think that, again, I don't even know if we can keep associating this to dating experience, but I just feel like there's some things that I should not have to tell you. If you want to be in a relationship, you have to, whatever dates is to y'all, it could be a walk on the park, it could be the coffee, it could be walking a dog, it's still a date. But my thing is, you cannot think that we finna be in the house 24/7 and we're gonna be a happy couple. There are certain things that I shouldn't have to teach you. Like, we need to go on dates, we should be communicating effectively, we should be, doing things that kind of match each other's, like making each other, like, what are we doing to make each other happy? Nothing? Yeah. No, I'm not going to teach you little shit like that.
Yeah, there are some guys that are just comfortable with
it's been 2 months, we ain't seen each other, we cool?
Yeah,
we're not cool. We're not us.
Yeah, at all. We're like,
that's the part I'm not finna. I feel like you should teach people or significant others certain things about like what you personally want. When it comes to the basics, you should be teaching someone
basics. Like, they should meet you at the minimum.
At the minimum, like
that's where they should be meeting you at. And if they're not meeting you there, like that's kind of questionable. Yeah.
I would say for me, I had that experience, but it's almost the opposite. Like I realized that what I was asking for probably was like not correct, because I had a conversation with somebody. They were pretty much saying like, or I was like joking, just saying like, some people say I don't need a man, but I feel like I need a man for certain things or whatever. He's also, if you say like you need a man, like what do you want a man in your life to do? And I was like for instance, like I just feel like relationships make your life easier. Like for instance, like say you have like trash, like he could take your trash out. Like say you have a tight, and I was naming all these things a guy can do, and he was like, dang, it sounds like you want an errand boy, not a boyfriend. And I was just like, damn, I was like, no, that's not what I was saying at all. And I really tried to re-explain it, and I was like, dang, I'm not going to lie. He was like, you didn't name
the fact that he even associate himself to an errand boy is crazy.
No, but he was just like, the qualities that you were naming, the reason why you want to be in a relationship, he was like, it's not like you didn't name companionship, partnership. He's like, any of like actual like solid things. He was like, you talking about like, you want somebody who go take the trip.
But I feel like, but when people ask questions like that, I feel like what that is implied. That's obviously what I want. No,
it's crazy that he associates himself with an errand boy.
No,
that is which is what I said. And trust me, y'all, we're here.
Yeah.
That's what I said back, because I didn't lose that argument. But afterwards, I did have to do some self-reflection and be like, okay, you know what? Like, I really do have to, like, when I think about relationships, what I want out of them, like, is it simply I want a relationship just to serve me and serve like the things that I'm lacking around, or do I want somebody who like, do I actually want a partnership? Mm-hmm. So I really did have to like do some self-reflection and think about how I'm wording what I want. Actually, when I'm thinking about it, like, what do I actually want in a relationship? Like, because at the forefront, I am thinking like, okay, this is why I want a boyfriend, because like I hate taking the trash out. Like that would be helpful to have a man wash my car and fill up the gas.
Oh, so you listed out all that?
It was a list.
Oh, girl, no, I was like, that's expected.
But I feel like that's no.
But I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like that's
you said
part
that's
of, like,
expected, but not everyone knows that's what's expected. So even with him saying that you're naming all that, I feel like wanting a companionship and wanting to be close to somebody is implied. I'm naming the extra little things that come with said companionship that I would like to be handled in my life.
Like all of that didn't allow him to wrap that.
what I was
is
like,
a part of
I'm saying things that as a woman I feel like I need a man to do. He was like, these just sound like errands. I'm like,
but no, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of that is companionship. You're wanting somebody to be with you so those things can happen. So if you're with a man like maybe 7 hours, taking out the trash is kind of innately. Like, you know, it comes with that, like, you being together all the time.
Take out the trash.
So like that's somebody there to like help you guys with each other. Okay. I think there's some things that a man is gonna expect out of a woman. Like, you know what I mean? It's just you're just innately gonna provide it.
I know that we refer to like chivalry whenever it comes to men, but as a woman, like, is there anything that you can do that can like display chivalry? Or
everything women
stand for. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I feel like
I think like vice versa.
I feel like a knight is a man.
I don't think
yeah,
the definition gave knight.
I'm saying like okay, like I know chivalry. Like of course we're gonna use a different. Like you said, okay, being a lady. Okay.
Being a lady, nurturing,
like okay, like being a lady, like exactly. So, like what do you do to display like being a lady to a man?
Sorry. Like, you know what's crazy, and this is gonna sound so pick-me-ish, but just because the way I was raised, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I'm at a party and if guys ain't eating, I don't mind fixing plates. I don't mind fixing plates.
Yeah, and like also too, like pick up trash and stuff. Like you can always
You know,
not head ass. You don't fix plates.
No, because there be sometimes where we be with our guy friends and they be scared to go to the thing, and I'll be like, okay, we'll
get you something.
We're girls. It's easy for us to go to the serving table than for guys.
Like we grew up like that. Like your mom come on, get them in, like. Come on, like
I grew up at that serving table, serving everybody.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I be in conversation when girls are like, "Hey, y'all serving men." I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not above it.
Yeah, I don't.
I grew up seeing that, so I'll never be above it.
But it's also like,
let's act serious here.
I mean, you gonna feed your man, or you want somebody else to do it?
Because if another
my man is different.
Oh, okay.
No, like
other women's men.
But y'all have to think about it too. Like that's just the woman in you. Like there are some women like that is in them. Like do y'all, if I don't know if y'all watch.
If you having a party at your house and people are over there, you're not gonna feed the people in your house other men.
Yeah.
You said say again.
Let's say you and your man are having like a gathering.
Yeah.
You and like some of his friends are there. You're not gonna like give them a plate.
Actually, no. Actually, I'm not.
Oh,
and I went all
guys.
So actually,
what?
So the
in your
thing
own
is,
home.
So as a woman, like especially like with my husband, like I'm there to serve my husband. I'm not there to serve every man,
but you're a host.
But I'm not there. I'm not there to serve every man that's in that room. No, and let me say,
you don't have to do everybody.
That's actually also respect to my husband, because here's the thing: it's like. Every man in this room is not going to get the exact same treatment as my husband. So no, like yeah. So I will
to bring drinks out.
No, it'd be different if you're like an elderly. If you're an elderly person and you can't get up to get food. Yes, of course I'm going to get you food. But as an able-bodied person, you as a man. Quite technically, you should not be depending on me.
Maybe it's not a party. Maybe it's like,
party,
5 friends over.
Yeah.
5 friends is different. Of course, I'm going to serve everybody at that table.
But as a party, you're not a freaking like worker.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying you got to walk around.
But as a party, no.
I'm not saying you're a waitress.
But yeah, as a party, no, I'm not. Like,
but if someone's like, oh, I want to try some of that. Like, oh, okay, I'm already over here.
I'll go grab it from you. But to think like, hey, I'm
not serving a room full of
bring my plate to my husband, and he's at a table full of 10 men, and now to think that I'm going to bring 9 other men.
But there are going to be other women that are helping you sit that table.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm not going to do that. Like my husband, that's my king. So yeah,
until he says you need to start. You need to act as if you have home training.
No, but he's getting that treatment.
But like for real, like we just had a conversation with a group of men.
I'm not feeding 9 people.
No, sorry, we just had a conversation with a group of men, and like that's exactly what they like. It was so crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah,
we were like, you really cut her off because that. Then like when he explained the situation, I was like, you know what? I feel that.
That's what he
cut a girl off because she didn't feed his friends.
So pretty much, my ex would never expect me to feed another man. It's so crazy. So we actually hosted a party at his house, and that's actually what he got mad about. Was like, hey, like, I think that like the type of attention that you were giving towards these men, like they were like looking at it as like something different.
That says a lot about him, not you.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it's one of those things where it's like.
So he doesn't want you to be a lady?
That says a lot about him, not you.
Because I don't feel like what you did was out of pocket. Yeah. I just feel like he didn't appreciate the attention you were giving the other men. I feel like that's the issue inside of him.
Maybe, but I just don't think like I don't think that it's one of those things where I have to like show the exact same attention I'm showing to my husband towards these other men.
Andrew, don't. But the only reason we said it because we were at barbecue. We had a barbecue, and this guy, he pretty much was talking
lowercase BBQ.
There was no barbecue.
Yeah, no.
There was steak.
No,
y'all trying to play people on this table.
You said lowercase BBQ. I'm trying to figure out what that means.
There was no meat.
There was meat.
It was meat in the air fryer.
Air fryer.
Air fryer?
That's not a barbecue. I don't like when because men will do that.
Modern barbecue.
Like, they'll be like, I'm having a barbecue, but y'all only have like, where's the sides?
None. Like none. We're just eating meat like fucking cannibals.
We asked for size. They bought out or out of fries. Okay, anyways. But so he was pretty much talking about a situation he had with the girl he was recently dating and why he stopped talking to her. And he said because he threw a party and she was acting more like a guest and she wasn't like acting as a host in that moment. And we said the same thing. Yeah, we were just like, what if she didn't feel comfortable with this and that? And he was like, no, as soon as she left that door, he said she thought she had a man, but she didn't anymore.
I think it was that difference. Like, so a host is completely different than being a guest. Like, I agree. Like, hey, like I can make you a drink, I can make you those type of things. But like to think that now I'm gonna go through a line of food and be like, hey, what do you want? Yeah, no. And I'm gonna go through and do that for 10 different men. I'm not doing that.
But I think the point is like, for example, like. You just somewhere and like, hey, do you need anything to drink? Okay, let me get it for you.
Naturally.
She wasn't doing that. Okay, she just was like, Kiki,
so
everybody.
Well, your favorite phrase, apples
they were like dating.
But I'm saying,
all these questions.
Your favorite phrase, apples to oranges, completely different than what I'm talking about.
But maybe she just wanted to be a guest. Why does she have to be?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, I was like, y'all are strict, bro. You know what's crazy? I said that too, but I was like, you know what's crazy though? When you sign up for that role, that is what comes.
But she didn't sign up for it.
No. She didn't sign up for that role.
But we're just dating.
Maybe she didn't like him like that. I'm not gonna lie. No, let me tell you. I feel like nobody's not gonna do what they don't want to do if they don't fuck with you on that level. This girl tweeted, she was like, the guy I'm talking to just asked me, can I help him move? She was like, what the fuck do I look like? He can hire movers. And someone commented, she was like, no, if you genuinely liked him, you will be gladly helping him. I'm like, damn. Because when I read that, I'm like, I feel you said, I'm like, no, if you genuinely like somebody, why would you not help them? If they're asking you to help them pack, help them pack. And she was like, why would he ask me? And it's like, because you don't like him. If you liked him, you would help him. And I feel like in that moment, she doesn't know him well enough to step up to the occasion to be a hostess to his party.
And I had a rebuttal.
Why would I do that?
Can I add a rebuttal to that?
It was giving. There are some girls that
hold on. There are some girls that may like a man. There are some girls that may like a man, and they're just not going to participate in any of that.
No, I disagree. So here's the thing.
There are some men.
The only reason why I go back to that, I think it's also important to be with someone that of likeness. So like if you know that your person likes to host and you're not much of a hoster, I probably wouldn't get with anybody.
But maybe she didn't know that. Really? Maybe she didn't know that.
Opposites attract.
Because the thing is, naturally,
so you feel like you can't grow in relationships because there's definitely some things that you may start off in a relationship not doing, and then you.
If I know,
but to be a hostess, you don't like people in the house.
If you don't like people in the house,
come around to liking that.
But like
that's when like a year, 2. You need to be a hostess with the hostess as we were dating in the beginning stages. If that's what I like,
completely agree. If that's what
what if you never come around to that?
But no, you can though. Like
if you know you're not
doesn't come in 1 year.
No. If you
like,
there's a difference.
Parents started off how they started off in the beginning. No,
but there's a difference between like, hey, like you're as a man, hey, I like to have my friends over. I like to host poker nights. I like to host Super Bowl parties. I like to host all these type of things. And then you bring a woman into the picture that's like, hey, actually, I like my house tidy. I don't like people even visiting. I don't like
make sure your house is tidy while he's having poker nights.
So you wouldn't. So
y'all are compatible.
You're not compatible.
But for you to say that you're dating someone who's social and saying I don't like people over my house, like.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you're not social. So if you're not the hosting spirit, I don't think you should get with someone that likes to host.
I have to disagree because my aunt married my uncle who was a very sociable person. She's not. She's a hermit.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
And like she literally was just like, I got him and like he brought me out of my shell. They are opposites.
But that's not going to be the case for everybody.
That I can understand. I think people can bring you out of your shell, but if you just genuinely don't like people at your house.
But I think too, like in this generation, like we're not.
I'm not going to date somebody in hopes that you're going to all of a sudden want people at the house. But like we don't want them there. We just can't go down this road.
But it's like. That's the reason why you're counting someone out. Like I feel like in our generation, we really be counting people out on stuff that's very temporary. Like people grow in relationships. That's the whole point of a relationship. You are supposed to be growing to something greater together. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm an outward person. And it's so crazy. I end up always being with people that are inward. But we always rock because it's like I bring them out of their shell and they turn me on to other things as well. So like say that y'all are not compatible.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like people know because I feel like I'm a very homebody and I always date people who are not homebodies or like they like to entertain and I because I want to be more outgoing, you know what I mean? But that's something that I want. But I feel like if somebody doesn't want to be outgoing or wants to stay a homebody, dating something like that, that's not compatibility.
But you don't
know you want that.
But Jori, my aunt was the same way. She did not like that's not her thing. But her man brought her out of her shell.
Let me ask you a quick question. So, do you think that it's fair for a woman to be asking for chivalry from a man, like you said, the gestures that y'all want? and to not be providing like traditional gestures to a man, not
Can you
wanting
name them?
not
Cooking.
wanting to cook, not wanting to
I'm not
clean,
cooking.
not wanting to clean,
clean.
not wanting to do those type of things for a man. Like, so do you think it's actually like fair for a woman to be expecting those things out of a man and not being
It is very
not
fair.
providing
It's very
those
fair.
Yes, and
I'm not
here's
cooking
why
for someone's not my
feel like-
boyfriend or man or husband. Not doing
Well,
that.
it's not even that.
Not
I
doing
just
that.
feel like there's certain things that just I feel like I am owed because I'm a woman. So again, like
Yeah.
opening doors, you know, being on the other side of the walkway, like, you know, helping an older if I was an older woman, somebody helped me across the street. Those are things that I'm not gonna cook for you just in return. Just
Not
for
every
that.
man deserves a hot meal.
I think that it's just two different things. Now, if we're in a relationship, and obviously I have those things, great. And I think what additionally comes in trade of me cooking and cleaning is you giving me princess treatment. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
on top of chivalry. It's like, okay, yes, you are a good
Absolutely.
man. You help me with certain things. Like you're there when I need you. You're supportive. Yes. Why would I not cook for you?
Right.
Why would I not help you clean? Why would I
Right.
not help you move? Why would I not help with little things? Because you are doing what you're supposed to do as a
Absolutely.
man, as my man. So
Absolutely.
those things are already going to come with it. So yeah, I think it's very fair for a woman to expect a chivalrous man and she's not being
Absolutely.
super generous, because you should just do that regardless.
Yeah.
Again, because it's in you. That to
Yeah.
me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like,
I don't think there's a trade-off.
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
I don't think it's a trade-off.
I was going to disagree until you said that, Crystal, because to me, I definitely was like, no, I do feel like it's a trade-off. But you said it in the beginning. So you said when you enter into a relationship,
Yeah.
like it definitely becomes like 50-50. Because I do think like if you're a type of person who like you're not into like conservative or traditional values, it is a bit unfair to be like, I'm not going to cook, I'm not going to clean, but I still want to stay at home. I want my man to pay all the bills.
Right.
It's like, how
Right.
do you feel like you deserve, like, let this
Right.
traditional man be with the girls who doing all that, you know what I mean? That's how I
Right,
feel.
right.
But at the same time, how you wording it is perfect.
Definitely. Because I'm with Crystal all the way. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I am not I know I always preach I'm not cooking for a man, but I always say I'm not cooking for a man I'm not in a relationship with or married to. Like, I'm just not doing that. And the girls that doing it, cool, but like, it's just, I'm not doing it. Just because you're opening my door does not mean you deserve a hot meal. Does not now mean I need to be doing your laundry and sorting the socks out. Like, I'm not doing any of that. And I feel like a lot of men be wanting girls to be doing that in the preliminary stages, and absolutely not. Like,
I think
that's a very hard ask, and you should not.
Yeah, I think
So,
women have expectations of men and men have expectations of women.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people say it all the time, like a certain type of man brings out a certain type of woman. So I feel like if you're
Absolutely.
being a chivalrous man, then you can bring those things out of me. But I don't feel like just because I'm a woman, I'm
I should
supposed
be
to cook
giving
and
those
cleaning
to
for
you,
you. Like
yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to show
And
me
you know,
what
right.
kind of man you are to get that
Absolutely.
out of me. Because I have not cooked for every boyfriend because, well, not a boyfriend, but people I've been dating. You know what I mean? Because I feel like,
Right.
what am I giving you this treatment for when you have not shown me that you're a chivalrous man? So I don't feel like everybody's
Absolutely.
entitled to that type of treatment. And
I'm
I feel like
telling
men,
you.
regardless, should give it. And women should pick and choose.
And I think men need to understand that as well. Like, you shouldn't expect every woman to be doing that for you. Like, and if every woman's doing that for you, that
And
is
you need to.
crazy.
You should have been put a ring on somebody's
Honestly,
finger then,
someone should have got a
'cause-
knee.
or yeah, or took the relationship to the next level.
Right.
And to
No.
No.
So I was gonna.
okay, I was
No.
Oh, because I wanted to take it back to what Jori had asked in the very beginning about like how certain celebrity standards have kind of changed what women expect. And I do feel like, although I feel like chivalry and princess treatment is different, or like, yeah, it's different. I think that where it comes into play is that people have gotten princess treatment from, or their expectations of what they want as a man generously from celebrities. And like, obviously, like you're looking at somebody who makes
Right.
$100K a month, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy for them to buy like, you know, Birkins and cars and houses and gift them to people. But like from the everyday, it's unrealistic.
Yeah, it's
there
not
are men
realistic.
who will come and date you, you know, with their tax bracket, and that could be very good for you. Like, you know, it could be, you know, because it's like that's what people can afford at the time. But
Yeah.
I just feel like that's what it was. Two different things. Like what they're expecting generously from a man. Definitely, it's set by celebrity standards.
'Cause, like,
and
I agree.
influencer standards too. Like, cause
It creates an unrealistic
Yeah, 'cause-
benchmark for the
yeah.
average
But-
person.
and I
For the
don't
average
know,
person.
Yeah, and I don't. But the thing is, it's not even fair to say it create, because it's like, what am I doing that because I can afford this, my man can afford this, and we're just showing it off, and now you expect this from your man. That's not fair to set that.
Right.
You're holding me to a standard in
Right.
your head that I don't
Yeah.
need
So
to be.
let me ask
Right.
you,
No,
do you
I
think it's-
agree. I agree there.
Do you think it's unfair to expect a man to pay for every, like in the beginning phases? Do you think it's unfair? Let's say you meet a man the first 5 dates. Do you think it's unfair to expect him to pay for every of the first 5 dates?
I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Okay, I don't even. Once again, I don't like this conversation
I don't
because
either.
it's
And I
very
wanna-
like not. And I'm not no shade to you. I'm just feel like the concept is extremely tacky. A man that's courting you is paying for the dates. A man that is courting you is paying for the dates.
Point blank. We can
Like, let's that's
we can
it.
end that
So if
there.
a man
And-
asks to go Dutch on
That's not a man that's courting
date
you.
4 out of 5.
They're gonna tell us
Let
to
me
take
be
the
clear.
rights away.
No, let me be
Let me
real.
ask-
Yeah.
Oh.
So a man asked to go Dutch. Let's say let's say this is the 4th date y'all have been on. Y'all have known each other for a month, and it's the 4th date y'all been on.
Right.
And he asked to go Dutch.
Right.
Nikki, you said that
he
3
doesn't like you.
times.
He doesn't like
paid
you.
for 3 days on a 4th date. Now you're asking.
Yeah, he doesn't
me.
like you, and it's okay. Because if you talk to an older woman, they're going to tell you the same thing. He doesn't like.
Have y'all
you.
ever
Date
had
4,
somebody
now he
ask
wants
y'all
to pay?
A man has never asked
That's what I'm
me.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm saying.
I've definitely
okay, so-
I've definitely gone half with the guy.
I've taken
on a date.
initiative,
So, I was about to
maybe,
say,
but
so
a
maybe
man
not.
has
So
never
did he
asked
ask,
me.
or did it kind of
No.
linger, and you
So it
kind of felt
lingered.
like,
So it
let
was
me
like
just
one of
go
those things
ahead?
where,
She told that Petty Chronicle that time on the podcast.
Oh no, he asked for that money. We know what that happened.
No,
Bum. Continue.
He put the check came down, and I could tell that he wasn't like as eager to pick it up. And I was just like, okay, I'll take care of it. He's like, oh no, I'll send you my half.
No.
That's how it went.
Can I be honest with you? No.
So
Maybe he
wasn't
didn't
like
expect
me?
you to pick it up.
No. Split the check in half then, and I'll pay for my half. You pay for your half. You're not sending me shit. Don't embarrass me. Let's not embarrass you. That's weird. See, I don't. Okay, y'all. Can we talk about this? Like, why are we, the audacity you said at the beginning? What is this about? Lingering? Like, did you ask me to come sit down with you, or ask you to come sit down with me? Ask these questions. A man should never have a woman being uncomfortable like that. Don't ever have me in a space where you invited me to now be wondering, I'm going to cover it. You like what? I'm going to send you. You're not sending me shit, actually. I'm going to pay for my half. You pay for yours. And this is done. Date 4 canceled.
Okay.
Show has ended. Like,
Yeah.
we're done. That's not a man I want to be with or next to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
No.
lie. I just
Don't test me on that kind of level because I will lose every time.
yeah, that's actually my biggest fear. You know why it's my biggest fear? Is because naturally, and again, we talk about how we were raised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even see it coming. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah, that'd be so.
I'd be
like,
so blindsided. We'd both be embarrassed. 'Cause
Hey.
It would take. I'd be like, "What are you asking me? Like, what? It'd be
Yeah.
that. You'd have to spell it out for me.
Yeah.
And at that moment, it would be too embarrassing.
Because as a woman, you know how your man is. If you pay for something, you would already been took care of a long time ago. So for you to not sit the bill coming like, I'll send you my half. Nobody. There's no
Yeah.
half to send. We're done. Like, ladies.
you know what?
let's-
I
Would
feel
you
like-
rather him
let's
send
not.
you his half, or you send him your half?
I'm not sending shit.
But I feel
So-
like some ideations
Not saying
can't come
shit.
from like experiences. I feel like women should want men to do these things. Like
Yeah.
women should want men. I think like
Yeah.
from experiences, obviously, like I feel like obviously you don't know things until you've experienced them,
it,
and
right.
obviously like. I think like until you've had a man who actually will willingly pay for everything every single time, you're not gonna want it. You know what I mean? Because you're always gonna come in and be like, okay, well, I'll take care of this. Which is fine. But like, I think that there are men out there who will willingly take care of everything because that's just how they want it for. That's just how
Right.
they were raised, or that's just traditional for them. So I just think that. But I do feel like every woman should expect chivalry.
And
I'm-
I
Point
agree.
blank,
I was gonna
like-
say like it's good to, and also too, it's good to have conversations like this around amongst women because you're right. A lot of women haven't experienced this, but at the same time, you should be expecting it. Like I'm gonna teach you so you know, like if a situation like this comes up, you know how to handle it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of men bullying women into thinking they deserve less. No,
That's a
Absolutely
weird thing,
not.
and it's so weird to me. I'm like, why do y'all get off of telling men that women that they don't deserve?
They don't deserve.
certain things. That's weird.
Very
like,
weird.
It's really weird.
Like, don't do that to a woman. Don't make her feel like she is not deserving of that. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Log out of the chat for eternity.
Literally. I've been looking at that for a minute.
Yeah, I would have been looking at that book like,
I'm talking
who
about
this for?
tonight.
Guys, that wraps up a great episode with your favorite ladies. Like, it was a nice discussion. I hope y'all were able to tune in and enjoy the commentary. Go ahead and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Petty Party Pod. If you have any motos or if you just want to collab or send us anything, pettyparty12814@gmail.com. And we enjoy y'all's comments under our posts and just like reaching out to us. We appreciate all the love and all the support. This is your girl, Paulette, signing out. Holla.
Bye, y'all. It's your girl, Crystal, aka Champagne Chris. Until next time.
Hi guys, it's your girl Jori.
Bye, y'all. It's your girl Shelly Shell.
Bye, everyone. It's just Nick. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Give me a P. Give me a E. Give me a T. T. Y. I'm petty all the time.